Well, you sure hold that place up with a good signal. Thank you, Aubrey. H6EZ, Dick. Nothing heard. And how about Tom, WA7FJC?
Good morning, John. Everybody, it is 49 degrees here. It's a darkly overcast. It is calm despite promises of windstorm or whatever. And 3007, WA7FJC.
Well, thanks, Tom, and a good signal there as well. KB7GL, Vic.
Good morning, John, and the group from South Kirkland. Boy, you're hitting me almost 20 over, John. Really nice pass up here this morning. It's been dark and overcast. We've had a lot of rain during the night. We got 3/4 of an inch since midnight. Looks like on the radar everything's moved past us now, so I think the rest of the day might be fairly decent. 50 degrees here. Just a couple of knots of wind out of the south after a fairly breezy day yesterday. Relative humidity's up just almost maxed out because the dew point and wet bulb are just 1 degree behind the temperature, and the barometer's rising right now. We're currently 30.10. It's gone up several hundreds here in just the last hour. 73 and everybody have a great day. KB7GL.
Okay, Vic, thank you. It sounds like with a rising barometer, your rain's probably over. KL7HI, Roger.
Good morning, this is KL7HI at Cape George. We've got a little bit of rain overnight and cloudy skies this morning. 7-3 everyone, KL7HI.
Thank you, Roger. Good signal. W1HKS, Henry.
Thank you, John, and good morning. Hello again to you, and good morning to everybody on the net here in the Bell Street neighborhood of Fort Townsend.
We have
no wind, no rain. We did have a good bit of rain overnight. I can't believe it. We got this much for a neighborhood in the rain shadow. We had since midnight 0.41 inches. There's no rain in the forecast for the rest of the day. Our temperature is 48, up from the overnight low of 47. And I noticed that a few days ago there was new snow at Hurricane Ridge, and subsequently it all melted off. But overnight there's a little bit more new snow there. Our forecast high is only 55. Pressure has been rising through the wee hours, 30.09 inches, and that's 1019 millibars. Have a great Friday and a good weekend. 73 W1HKS.
And thank you, Henry. You have a good weekend as well. And our snow is picking up on at the Timberline Lodge up on Mount Hood. We're getting some snow that's staying, starting to get cumulative enough maybe that they're skiing by Thanksgiving. Well, let's go to Bruce, K7IDX. Very good, Bruce. For everyone, his temperature is 70, and he's at Lake Mojave, and the wind is negligible. So have a good day, Bruce. K7IK, Bill.
Yeah, good morning all. K7IK on the foothills of Mount Jupiter. We have 49 degrees. We had a low of 43. I wasn't...
So let's go to Bob, W7KWS. Okay, Bob is not here this morning. W7LD.
I'm here, W7LD here, Jack and Quilcene. Well, I got a half an inch of rain. How about that? It measured in 3 different collectors, so I'm pretty sure it's a half an inch. 47 degrees, no wind, and I got the same pressure as Carl, 29.95 inches. So with that, back to you, John, W7LD.
And thanks, Jack, and I'm glad you got the dust settled up there. KI7MH. Go ahead, Murray.
Good morning, John and the net from Simsway Hill in Port Townsend. Let's see, 48 and overcast, and I don't think it's raining, but the ground's real wet. KI7MH.
Thanks, Murray, and I neglected to say that W7MEE had checked in early. K7MJQ. David, are you there this morning? I know he said he'd be maybe on and off for a while. K7NTA, Fred.
Well, good morning, John and all. 46 degrees here and 0 wind and 0.22 on the rain and 29.59 pressure. Gray skies, the ceiling's about 1,000 feet or 500 feet above the house. Quarter-mile visibility and fog and drizzle. That's it from Lucid Falls, Southwest Yakko, K7NTA, and back to you, John.
Thanks, Fred. It sounds like here, but we don't have the fog. KG7NZA, Stephen.
Good morning, John, and everyone on the net. This is KG7NCZ from the foothills of Mount Jupiter.
Thank you, Steve. Good signal as usual. K70E, Dave. I don't hear Dave this morning. Lee is there, WA70K.
Well, good morning again, John, and everybody up by the Port Ludlow Golf Course. We're enjoying 47 degrees with a high broken overcast. Let's see, rain, we got 3/4 of an inch. Must have all been during the hours of darkness because daytime was dry and clear and windy. And let's see, visibility is better than 10. No wind this morning, and 3007. And John, MJQ will be off until about the 6th of next month, WA70K.
Thanks, Lee. Again, I had my hand over the note. Ted won't be on until tomorrow, so let's go to KI7T, John in Eglon.
Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. Well, for the first time in a few weeks, I can see some cascades. I can see Mount Pilchuck pretty clearly, and the rest of the range is somewhat obscured, but it's good to see it. See that the mountains are still there. Pretty much solid overcast, but more of a high overcast today, and it's very calm. The sound is not got. Well, it has a few patches. Rain there. And currently it's dry. It was raining pretty good a few hours ago, but the air is pretty dry right now. This is KI7T.
Thanks, Sean. And again, your signal is really good. So let's go out to Pat on the other side of the mountain. N7UVH.
Yeah, good morning. And it's pretty much the same of what you guys got. We're going to be in the mid-50s and down to the 40s for the next couple days. One thing that changed that's nice is we don't have any more wind, so don't have to bundle up as much. So no snow yet, 7 UVH. Good morning.
And thank you very much, Pat. A good signal. Not as strong as you usually are, but it's almost S9 and very readable.
Thank you.
WN7W, Dan.
Well, good morning, John. WM7W, Silverdale. With this other radio in the background I can't turn down anymore. So how about you and I get together after net, and maybe Lucky Dog could hang around too, WM7W.
Yeah, Dan, absolutely. And it would be good for Jack if he hangs around so we can get a reference in close and away. So let's go to Mark, KJ7WD.
Good morning, John. WA2JM, KJ7WD. We're 30 miles east of Seaside, and well, we're going to get a couple hours before you. We've had rain. We've had a couple hours before this, but it was just drizzle. Looks like we're going to get a couple of spots this afternoon, like 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So we're just going to enjoy the weather out here. It's nice, cool, and kind of sends a chill up your spine. Have a good one, KJ7WD.
Okay, Mark, thanks. And you enjoy the day as well. Just stay dry. W7XZ, Steve.
Good morning to you, John. 47 degrees. We've got a light rain falling about 1/10 of an inch an hour. Built up a couple tenths so far today. Lots of fog shrouding the North Fork of the Lewis River down there. And 3 to 5 knots of east wind coming through. So it's feeling a bit more fallish than it was a couple weeks ago, John. Everybody stay warm and dry out there. W7XV.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, summer is definitely past us now. N7YFB, Les.
Oh, good morning again, John. This is N7YFB, Les in Bellingham. We currently have 47 degrees, the barometer 30.01. Wind is south at 6. It's overcast, and we've had 1.2 inches of rain in the last 24. Have a good day, N7YFB.
And thank you for that report, Les. You enjoy your day as well. That's the first time through the list. Do we have any later miss stations?
K7OE.
Ah, there you are, David. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just missed it earlier. Stepped away. Let's see. Fort Ludlow is gray and overcast at the moment, but the Olympics are partially in view. Temperature up 2 degrees from Lee, 49 degrees. No wind to speak of this morning, which is sort of good news because it was blowing pretty good yesterday here. The Coast Guard was even hunkered down here in the bay. Let's see. I said the temperature barometer is up, let's say 3010, and everybody stay safe and enjoy your day. Thanks, John. K7OE, Port Ludlow.
And thank you, David. You enjoy your day as well. Are there any other later miss stations? Do we have, besides Dan and Jack and I and others perhaps, do we have any other contacts? How about visitors for the net? Any visitors this morning?
November 7, Echo Charlie Victor.
And 7ECV, go ahead.
Hey, very good morning. Boy, the conditions are great this morning. This is Sean in Ephrata. 45 this morning. It was about 37 a couple days ago. We had our first frost out here, but we're slowly trickling into wintertime. And the bands are already open from 10 meter on down, so everybody should have a good time today if they choose to. Nothing more to really report. Thanks for getting me in here this morning. Good morning from Ephrata, N7ECV.
And thank you, Sean, for being there. You have a great signal here into Portland, and you're right, the bands are wide open, and I heard the contest going on. So enjoy the day as well, and thanks for coming by. Any other visitors? Well, hearing no other visitors, I'm going to close the official portion here of the net at 15:46:53. Thank you all for being there this morning. Please enjoy your day and be safe. WA2JM Portland for the Northwest Voters Net. And Dan, you go ahead. I'll just be monitoring here. I switch over to the other machine.
Okay, Roger. I may tune in a little closer on frequency here, so stand by.
Okay, there you go.
I didn't see a bowfang in the package.
Well, the picture, he's got it in his hand.
Yeah, I showed that to the wife. She got a giggle out of it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. It's pretty spot on.
Actually, it did give me an idea for a Halloween costume. I got all that stuff.
You got the Aries ID?
I got everything.
You got the bow thing?
I got that too. I even got a hat with my call sign on it.
Hot dang, yeah, I got that too, yeah. We could go as twins.
I didn't mean to send that text to you at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was kind of loading it up to hit you when I knew you was out of bed.
Oh, I'm usually awake. I wasn't this morning, though. My phone was in the other room, so no worry.
Oh, good. I was picturing you grabbing your phone in the dark and looking out. Come on, Murphy.
Well, usually by 5 a.m., some portion of my body is writhing in pain, so I'm usually awake.
Yeah, we usually get moving around here about 5 in the morning. The wife, her alarm goes off at 5, so I'm actually up at it. Then I'm usually up at 2 o'clock working early morning DX radio stuff anyway, and get her coffee made and whatnot. So by then it's days on at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually ready for a nap during that time here.
Well, yeah, there you go.
So did you see that post I put on the club's IO about that QRO Commander 2500?
Well, I just saw Commander something 800 tube or something. That's all I saw.
Yeah, there's a local guy, him, that's this thing, if it's got 100 hours on it, I'd be amazed. But he hardly got on the radio with it. And he's selling all his ham gear, actually. Most all it's gone except for the QRO Commander 2500, and he's looking for $1,500. I thought that was a hell of a deal. Heck, you can get an SB220 for about $1,000 to $1,200, so something like that ought to go pretty quick.
Yeah, that's a great deal. What uses the 3CX800 in it?
Yeah.
The A7s?
Yeah, the 800.
Well, if it runs 3CX800 A7s, those are worth about $800 a piece. So
yeah, I figured the tubes were worth that.
I doubled them. If it runs 3CX800 A7s, those will go for about $800 a piece.
Yeah, that's what's in them. The tubes are worth what the amps worth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I may have to take somebody up on that offer. N7ECV, good morning.
Hey, big signal, Sean. Good morning.
Hey, you guys are loud too. It's good to be able to hear everybody. I was trying to bite my tongue till net started, but that's a heck of an offer for an amplifier. Although I think I'm still looking at the solid state possibly. My SB230 relay went bad in it, I think. So it's down and out for now.
Oh man, you don't need it today for me.
Who's that? Is that Sean?
Yes, it's Big Sean.
Okay, yeah, he's right at my noise. I get about 50%.
When are you gonna sell everything you got? The lake house, the mountain house, the city house, and go find yourself out in the country where there's no noise?
Yeah, right. I was out there, but then I got divorced.
Well, what's keeping you from doing it now?
What's that?
There you go. What's keeping you from doing that now?
Well, I'd have to get divorced again because this wife wouldn't want to live in the country.
No, I was wondering if that was the case. She's a city girl?
Oh, definitely. City girl, total. You know that show Green Acres, with, what's his name and his wife? Yeah, that's my wife.
How's the driver's ed come along, Sean? I bet you she's excited. Yeah, I saw your post on the DX clusters with what's it called, Variac or something like that. Yeah, Very AC. You had a post that you was on frequency with it somewhere. All right. So PSK reporters able to detect the Very signal, huh? Right. I knew about all that, but I didn't know the new mode if it was able to pick it up. Oh, interesting. I haven't been on there in a while. In fact, somebody was on, I can't remember what band, but it was the New Guinea station, the expedition that's going, and he was working FT8, and there was a guy with a Very AC signal on there calling. And the sad part about it is he had his CWIDer going. And so after he got done doing his beacons and calling CQ, I copied him down and sent him an email. Says, dude, you're on the wrong frequency. That's right. 7 UVA. Oh, nice. I gotta go put some more mud in my cup.
this is N7KYK opening up this morning session of the Geritol group. We're an open group. We meet here 7 days a week at this time on this frequency, and we do enjoy talking to visitors. Any check-ins this morning? W7YLW. In there, Ron. Anyone else?
WS7UJ.
There's Ed. UJ. Okay. Anyone else?
7UVH. Good morning.
N7UVH. Got you in here, Pat. Anyone else? Good morning, Sean. N7ECV. All right. Anyone else this morning for the Geritol group? Well, we're doing better than average, I guess, this morning. Yesterday was a good day. We've got W7YOW, W7UJ, N7UVH, N7ECV. I'm N7KYK. Did I miss anybody? Okay, weather-wise here. Had a low of 43, currently 50, headed for 57. 99% humidity. We've had all the rain, I guess. We're only down to 10% chance for the rest of the day. Southwest wind of 4. We've had 3/10 of an inch of rain overnight. 30.06 for pressure and 10 plus for visibility. Down to you, Ron. W7YW and 7KYK.
Yeah, N7KYK, W7YLW. Well, we're cloudy this morning. Temperature 41, heading for a high of 60. 60 degrees today. W7UJ, W7YLW.
Okay, good morning, Ron and the group. This is W7UJ here in downtown Spokane, where the weather currently is 49 degrees, and we are going to 56 degrees, they say. It's cloudy out there, 45% humidity. We have a southeast wind at 10, which is weird. We very rarely get wind from the southeast. No precipitation, 30.04 on the barometer and heading upwards. And we can see for 10 miles. Not quite all the way to the little house on the prairie, but maybe halfway there. N7UVH, W7UJ.
Yeah, you're right, Ed. Normally we don't see that wind out of south and east. That's a weird direction. I think maybe Seattle and Tacoma or whatever. It's kind of I guess that'd have to be BC anyway. Yeah, what Ed said, and one thing about the wind is yesterday it was blowing and cold and nasty, and today the wind isn't moving at all at my place out here on the prairie. The trees are sitting steady and the leaves are just kind of starting to turn yellow, so that's what's happening here. Over to you, Sean, N7UVH in the group.
N7ECV and 7KYK. Well, good copy on everybody this morning. Ron, you're 15 over. Ed, you're 10 over. Pat, you're 5 over. Sean, you are hitting 10 over. So no problem there. And we'll see how long that lasts. Okay, well, they keep predicting this nasty weather here in the Tacoma area, and it turns out to be not that nasty. But I guess next week, towards the end of the week or so, we've got a couple days that are going to be down to in the low 30s, close to freezing. So we may end up getting a bit of a frost there, too. So my wife's been out in the yard the last couple of days taking care of all her plants and getting them ready for the cold, which includes bringing some of them inside, I guess, and others go into the greenhouse for the winter. Let's see, what did I do yesterday? Not much. More research on the heat unit, and I found out that supposed to have about 6 inches of clear space above the wall unit that goes in the house, and if I do that, the bottom of the unit's not very far off of where you're going to. Now it's not going to fit very good, I don't think. So what I may have to do is open up a vault in the ceiling above to where the unit's going to go, so I can mount it higher on the wall, and it still needs a good 6 inches of air over the top. If I cut into the rafters and box in that area, I can do that. I'll get the unit mounted up at the top of the wall, and it'll have almost a foot of airspace over the top. So that's going to take some carpentry, but it'll get the unit put in there where it's out of the way and not looking too bad. So I guess that's what we're going to do. Okay, other than that, one of the neighbors that my wife talks to occasionally is having a little Halloween gathering tonight, I guess, at her house, 4 houses up from us. So we'll probably just walk up and say hi. I won't say too long, but I don't think I even know the gal. My wife talks to her once in a while, so we'll see what's going on. It's nothing like somebody having a party and nobody showing up, so got invited, so that's what we'll probably just walk up there for a bit. Okay, over to Ron, W7YOW and 7KYK.
Okay, Don, W7YOW. Yeah, I didn't accomplish too much yesterday either. Can't remember what I did do. Got some wood in on the porch. And what? Oh, yeah, Diane reminded me. I got a haircut, yeah. I needed one bad. It's been a couple of months or probably more than that. Anyway, got that done, so I look pretty for going south. Anyway, I watched the last part of the football game last night on Amazon Prime. But the only place you can get it now on Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime kind of took it over. So that was a bummer. But Brady got beat again. So he's not having too good of a year. The Ravens took it to him yesterday. Anyway, I don't have too much. I think you get that Amazon too, don't you, Ed? W7UJ, W7YOW.
Yeah, Roger. I watched the game last night there. Yeah, I get the Amazon thing. So that was a pretty good game. I was kind of rooting for Baltimore, so that worked out good. Unfortunately, the Cougars barely lost to Utah. Utah kind of got a gift TD from the refs, so that was a bummer. But anyway, that's the way that goes. Well, let's see. Yesterday, I did work New Guinea on 30CW, so I finally got them there. So I'll see if I can maybe get them on some of the other bands there. And I did work Mali on the western side of Africa on 10-meter CW. So that was pretty good. So the band was pretty good yesterday, so I did that, and then I had to run some errands, go to my P.O. box and such, and then I had to stop and pick up the ashes of my best buddy, my dog Betty, so that was kind of sad. But now we got her ashes, and we'll probably spread them around the places that she loved. And other than that, let's see, I canned about 4 pounds of jalapenos. I made bread and butter jalapenos. So they're pickled, but just with a hint of sweetness there. So they're really good. I haven't made them for a couple of years, and I ran out, and I've been kind of jonesing for them. So now I got them again. So that's going to be a good thing. All right, we'll pass it over to Pat and see what he's been up to. I know he's been hunting the DX there. N7UVH. Oh, and chasing women in grocery stores. N7UVH, W7UJ.
I don't have to chase the women. They chase me. I got to beat them off, man. And I tell you, I hate even going to the store anymore. It's hard to get my shopping done. But, yeah, I did chase around New Guinea, and I just looked up to see how many bands they uploaded, and I got them on six bands now, 40 through 10, mostly CW. I've been looking for them on 80, and I really want to get them on 160, which I think is going to be possible, because we can work VKs and ZLs when it's the right conditions there, and New Guinea's actually closer. It sounds like it's further away, but it's actually closer. So I've been doing that, chasing along with you there, and I went out yesterday. You got me going on after talking about the jalapenos. I'm going to pickle those cherry tomatoes out there, and I was going to pick them, and again, they're still going. I still got blossoms and stuff coming on, so I got to looking at the weather, and it's not going to freeze up through till this weekend, so I'm going to let them hang on the vine for a little bit and keep growing with it. They're not growing as fast, but gosh, temperatures in the mid-50s during the day, they got something going on, so what the heck. So that's what happened here, and yesterday, yes, I did go shopping, and while Ed was working some DX, I showed him where I was at, and which was in line at the grocery store, and after I got home, putting away the groceries, crap, I gotta go back. The whole reason for going to the store is to go pick up the wife's prescription, and I forgot it, so I had to do that, so I went back. And lo and behold, I ran into an old high school buddy, and we chatted for about 45 minutes. So that was fun. So that was the highlight of my day. Sean, what's your highlight? N7ECV, 7UVH.
N7UVH in the group, N7ECV. Yeah, very good there, boy. It's always good when you decide, well, I better go do that, and it pans out to be a tie-in with an old buddy. That's pretty neat. I think you were just chasing more ladies in the line, but we'll let that story fly the way it is. Let's see there, Ed. Good, fine business on the new DX out of Mali, and I haven't chased any of that New Guinea station yet. I'm just getting the bug there for CW, so look out as that comes. Ron, it does sound like you're trimmed up for travel. I could hear that you got your hair cut there, hi. And boy, you're getting really close. I would imagine you guys are starting to button everything down. And Don, I hope you enjoy the party tonight. It should be fun. It's nothing like getting out, at least for a little bit this time of the year. It was always supposed to be festive and a good time, right? So, anyway, we're just playing around on radio. I got the this silly little setup here on YouTube going. It should be up and running live anyway, and just having fun. I've been really enjoying the DX. It's been opening up on 10, especially. I worked Cayman Islands at 10-watt sideband. That was a pleasure. Boy, 10 was never open when I got my license way back when, and now it is. So I've been having fun and really taking advantage of the band conditions for the YouTube channel. I've got, it's called 5 Questions there. I call it Talkin' Shack. But anyway, it's always good to be able to talk and meet new friends, right, and play radio for sure. In fact, I'd like to get you guys in when conditions are good. It takes about 15 minutes. It's the same questions I ask everybody, but I try to do it over the air is kind of my niche about it. So we got that Malinois family finally got a hold of me. So that dog is going home. Finally, we're giving her back to the family tomorrow. So that'll bring me a dog down again. Man, that was taking up a lot of space around here. And I've just got one shelter dog hanging out. His name's Milo. He looks like he's a German Shepherd cattle dog. But he's a good boy. He's more of just kind of a watchdog kind of barker, and but it looks really cool. And we'll get more time with him after this Malinois goes back. She's been just a handful. One of those dogs is hard enough around any other dogs that aren't Malinois, man. And a lot of people just don't understand them. They're just a breed of their own for sure. Other than that, with the first frost, we had to get all the plants inside that we could and harvest what we could, and then just kind of start to batten down the hatches for taking a look at what's going to freeze and be a slip danger for myself when the ice comes on some of the new parts that were built out here for the kennel and stuff. And then just kind of take it easy, I think. I'm going to play QRP for the contest coming up this weekend and see how well I do there, and maybe tinker with this old Heathkit amp. It finally gave up the ghost the other day. I think I've got a bad relay in there, but I will be in the market for something else to put in line here, and I've got the money to speak for it too. So anyhow, that's what we're doing here. We're playing radio and YouTube and just geeking out and having a good time. N7KYK with the group. There were a couple of stations tuning up next to us. I don't know if there's more there. N7ECV.
N7ECV, N7KYK. Yeah, is there anyone else out there that would like to join the group?
N7MDH.
Somebody have a copy on him?
That was John.
John, go ahead, Big John.
Yeah, well, N7MDH. Well, we had some fun with the DX yesterday on 10. Got about 14 or 15 new countries. So I'm kind of going to do some cherry picking this weekend, and who knows, maybe I'll find a few countries I'm looking for in 7MDH.
Okay, well, yeah, I heard John was hitting about an S9 there for a while and then dropped down to an 8, but I can copy him this morning, which is better than a lot of mornings. Okay, well, next time around, maybe he'll have more to say. Yeah, well, Sean, the dog that you've got there, the German Shepherd cattle dog, that sounds like an interesting mix. If I was living back down on the farm property, I'd maybe be interested in something like that because we kind of gave up on. My wife had a dog when we met, and we had to have him put down about 10 years ago because he got to the point where he couldn't move very good. So it was time, but we decided not to get another dog until we move out of the city, if we ever do. My favorite dog, I think, well, I had a lot of favorite dogs. All my dogs were favorite, but the one that I thought was probably the most intelligent was the German Shepherd Wolf. It's actually one of the only dogs that I ever paid for, and we had papers on her, and boy, she was a protective dog. The kids, when they were 4 or 5 years old, they used to like to sleep outside in the front yard of the farm property, and we had all kinds of wild critters running around up there at the time, and kind of isolated, but we put the dog out there with him, and I tell you, we didn't have to worry about anything. The dog would not let anybody or anything get close to him, so very intelligent dog. She used to go riding up in the mountains with me when I took the horse out. I'd be gone for 2 or 3 days sometimes, and she'd follow along with me, and I know that there were times when she'd get on the trail of a deer or something like that, and if I didn't call her back, I think she would have brought me down some dinner. So anyway, that was good times back then. And Ron, I haven't had a haircut for I don't have enough fingers to count on for how many years. It just got to a certain length and quit growing, and now it's just falling out. So that's the way that's going. Over to you, W7YW and 7KYK.
N7KYK, W7YW. Yeah, funny how that works when it just starts falling out, Don. My forehead gets bigger all the time. Anyway, I had a German Shepherd Wolf mix for quite a while. Really nice dog. Actually, it was Brady's dog. He used to ride in the back of his pickup and everything, but then when he had his accident, he had to get a seeing eye dog, and so I ended up with his wolf dog, and that was over on the west side there in Vernonia. Then I moved over to Bend and brought the dog over here, and had it for a few years. It just got old, and actually I had a Cocker Spaniel, and it died, and just a few days later, the wolf dog died. He just missed that Cocker Spaniel, because there wasn't anything the matter with him that I remember. The Cocker Spaniel was getting old and everything, and then the German Shepherd Wolf mix there, he just up and died. Loneliness, I guess. But anyway, it was a really nice dog, kind of a silver-colored wolf dog. Anyway, what else here? Sean, you're just booming in here. You're 5 over 9. You're probably as loud as you've ever been in here, so signals aren't really good today. Anyway, I can't think of anything else right now, so we'll shoot her up to Ed there, and today we're just going to continue getting ready, getting things done, to get out of here the week after next, I guess. W7UJ, W7YW.
Okay, very good, Ron. Yeah, well, my dog Betty Betty that passed, she was my best buddy, and I had her for 13 and a half years. And she slept with me every night for 13 and a half years. And she was the smartest dog I ever owned. She watched TV. She could see if a dog or a cat was on TV, she would go nuts. And she had about 150 toys, and you could tell her to go get this toy or that toy, and she would go dig through there and bring you the right one. She knew the names of all of them. So, yeah, she was pretty amazing. And our other Italian Greyhound, he's really lonely now. He's never been around not having another dog. So we may have to see if we can rescue another Italian Greyhound out of Seattle for him, because he's a pretty lonely guy. He keeps looking for Betty. So, yeah, well, let's see. Yeah, the DX has been good. And, well, John, maybe you can get Peru there on one of the bands there finally. And Sean, I'll have to look for your new YouTube video there. Your other one was really informative and good. So, yeah. And Pat, yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that does stuff like that. Go to the store for one particular reason and then come home and find out the one reason you went there you didn't get. So there you go. I guess it happens to even the best of us. Okay, with that, we'll send it over to Pat, N7UVH, W7UJ.
Yeah, taking a little bit of a delay there. Somebody keeps tuning up. Anybody want to join us there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, yeah, the grocery store thing. You know, when you walk into the grocery store, and as soon as the doors open up, they have that fan that blows air, on it. They say it's supposed to keep the bugs out, but that's to blow your mind. It's a mind blower, so you forget everything that you walked in there, so you buy extra crap. So that's my story. That's a mind blower fan. And yeah, John working DX. I gotta see if I can sneak up on John someday when he's working DX. Maybe he says more stuff than he does on the nets there. I'm just teasing you, John. John is a man of few words. And Sean, there's an amplifier over here in Post Falls with your name all over it. It's a Commander 2500. And if I didn't buy my amplifier already, I'd be all over this beast. It's a tank, and they're well sought after. They were quite the amplifier when they were being built. One came available here in Post Falls from a ham that's getting out, and I swear to God, this thing, if it has 100 hours on it, I'd be totally amazed. So it's in pristine for $1,500. You got my phone number. If you're interested, I'll text you back the phone number of the guy that's handling it for him. And you say you're taking it easy. That's awesome. You're one of the hardest working guys I know of. So I think you deserve taking the winter off. And dogs, we've had two shepherds over the years. One was a farm dog. It's just almost like what you described. It was a shepherd blue heeler mix. God, one of the smartest dogs we ever had. The hips ended up getting him. And we had to put him down because he couldn't hardly even walk anymore. And then we had a shepherd husky mix, and his name was Wolfie. We had that one a long time ago, about 30 years ago. That dog was mean. It didn't like anybody. It didn't even like us at times. I think the only time we liked it was when we were feeding it, when we were bringing it food. But you didn't dare sneak up on Wolfie because he was going to get you. And even though he knew who we were, I think he was off. I think he was dropped as a puppy. That was my excuse. So anyway, that's the stuff that I got written down here on my jot list here. Over to Sean. And yeah, like I got to concur what Ron was saying. And Ron, you're strong too. You're the strongest you've been up this way. Usually you run about a 5 to 7, but you're over S9. So I think our summer band conditions are starting to get behind us and back to our winter easy. Maybe I won't have to run an amplifier just so darn to hear us. N7ECV, 7UVH.
N7UVH in the group, N7ECV. First, I'll take that app. I won't be able to pick it up till Sunday, but if you can hand me the information via text, would be great, or email, however, sir. I heard you talking about it this morning, and yeah, I was about ready to spend a little more than twice that for half the power. So I'll take that app, and I can pick it up. Anyway, and thank you. So dogs, I can think of a husky wolf mix that I came across for a while until I got him rehomed. That was a great. Him and I ran from one end of Virginia City to the other for about 40 minutes until I got him back into the house, a little booger. He was a monster. He was the size of a full-grown wolf at about 10 months old. Very big dog, fun dog, smart dog. But one of the best dogs I've ever had was Misdemeanor. She was a little pit bull Rottweiler mix, like my first dog when I got my first house and my first dog. Anyway, love that dog. Spent the life of that dog with it. And one day I'm looking out my Volkswagen van. I was living in my van at the time fighting wildfires and stuff. And I'm looking out the window and I see Misdemeanors just in this weird tuck position with her nose straight to the ground. And then she springs straight up in the air, boom, at least 6 feet, at least straight up in the air, and then right back directly down with her nose down near to the ground again, and she'd spring up into the air again. And I'm going, what in the heck is this dog doing? She's great. This dog would do anything I asked her to do, especially if I threw a ball or a rock. She'd climb ladders, all sorts of stuff. Well, I go to walking out there to see what the heck this dog's doing, and she's playing chicken with a rattlesnake. She got a rattlesnake coiled up, and she's right over that thing, and as it strikes, she jumps straight up in the air so high it missed her I don't know how many times, and I tried my best to make sure that wasn't a habit. The only other bad habit she had was chasing skunks. Boy, she really liked getting sprayed by a skunk for some ungodly reason. But anyway, everybody's great signal today. They're 5.9 plus or better. It really sounds good. I'm hoping I can do another good run and get some good QRP DX sideband. 5 watts is much harder than 10 watts, I'll tell you that much, especially in a contest environment. Hey there, Big John. It's good to hear you. N7MVH, man, I was happy to see you at the Hamfest and really happy I could shake your hand. So good to see you and great to hear you this morning. What's going on, John? Good morning. Over.
Yeah, N7MVH. Well, the only thing new I got another addition to the shack. I got my old IC7600 back. It's kind of a companion for the 7610. And maybe I will get Peru this weekend, because I'll probably do a lot more talking, because I'll be saying you're 5'9", good luck in the contest. And my mother we had a little Pomeranian, and this thing was convinced he was a pit bull, and he would sure act like one. N7MVH. So I think I turn it over to N7KYK.
Yeah. And I'm back real quick. I was on the phone with Daryl, and it's a done deal, Sean. It's in the box and everything, so I'll give you Daryl's phone number. You guys can work it out. 7UVH.
Thank you. Back to you there, Don.
Okay, yeah, I kind of lost John there at the last. He started out good at solid 9 and dropped down to about a 7, which is just barely above my noise level. So that's the way that goes. Okay, well, we'll toss it up in the air. Any last comments? Not hearing anything, we'll close down here at 9:28, turn the frequency back to general amateur use, and we'll do it again in the morning. N7KYK clear, 7-3.
Hey, Sean, give me your phone number real quick. I put it in somewhere weird.
509-431-8605. Over.
Got it. Thanks.
So does YouTube now. Thank you, guys. N7ECV QSY.
Washington Information Net. The net meets each morning at 9:30 a.m. local time on 39 kilohertz, 3980 kilohertz, for the purpose of sharing information useful to its members and other amateurs. We'll call for check-ins from the roster of active members that we have, and when we're done with that, we'll open it up to people who have called in late that we perhaps have missed. Visitors are welcome anytime to break in. For questions, please feel free to contact the net controller and do our best to answer your questions. Any stations like to get in and out early this morning? Could we have a solar flux report?
Good morning, all. WV7ESV, Vancouver. Flux today is 130, 130. ANDX 9, KNDX 2. No space weather storms observed in the last 24, none for the next 24. NASA report today, sunspot count is 84. Flare count is 61 Class C, 44 Class M, and 21 Class X. Coronal hole count today is 1,478. CME count today is 19 and none named at the Earth. And propagation for today is everywhere is bad propagation except Alaska. Back to you, WV7ESV.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Dave. Let's see. Today is the 28th. We're almost done with October, aren't we? Let's see. That means we do start at the top of the list, though. And that would be with Amity, Oregon, and 7UQS Shack. How about Mike in Bellevue, KF7GGM?
Well, good morning, Peter and the rest of the group, KF7GGM. It's 48 degrees. It's been raining most of the night. It was really windy yesterday. We're headed for 55. We got a south wind at 4. 93 on the humidity, 48 on the dew point, 30.08 on the pressure, no UV index reading, 10 miles visibility, and we're in a waxing crescent moon phase. Thanks for doing it, Ed. Have a good weekend. Happy Halloween, KF7GGM.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for that report. Mike, have a good evening. Brennan, KF7FCA, Bill.
Morning, Peter. KJ7FCA, Brennan, Washington. Well, we've got light fog with just a little bit of blue sky up there, so it might not be too bad today. Temperature is 49 degrees. Humidity is 96%. The pressure is 30.08. No wind, and we're looking for a high of 57, and maybe some more sun this afternoon. Back to you, Peter. KJ7FCA.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Nice signal coming out of Brennan this morning. How about Camas? KE7DHA, Larry. And Clay Ellum, W7MB, Henry. Try Freda, N7ECV, Sean.
Very good morning from Freda, November 7, Echo Charlie Victor here. It's currently 48 degrees. We're headed to about 56, it says, if we're lucky. I've got a 3-mile-per-hour wind from the east-southeast, 29.9 barometric pressure today. 76% relative humidity. We got cloudy skies, but no rain to speak of for a while now. Just starting to get cold. That's all we've got. Good morning, N7ECB.
Some rain tonight. Well, I hope that was Sean up in Freya, because I didn't get a good copy out of it. Dave, did you get it?
That was Sean. Go ahead.
All right, thanks. How about, you want to call out for Gordon down in Eugene, KI7LMP?
KI7LMP, Gordon, are you on today?
Gordon, go again. You doubled with the last station, Gordon, but they've opened it up to Eugene. Whiskey India 6 Zulu.
Go ahead, Gordon.
November 7, Echo Charlie Victoria.
he was heard. So he's not transmitting right now, I don't think.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Kirk, too. Let's see, we'll move on then to Kirkland, KB7, TBC. Al.
Good morning, Peter and the group. I don't have a lot of numbers today, but it's very foggy here. The deck is very wet, so we've had rain, and it's still dribbling a little bit. Visibility is only about a half a mile, and we got a present temperature of 50 degrees. Sorry we don't have more info, but I was late. So back to you for KB7, TBC.
Okay, appreciate that report. Didn't get a good copy on it, but I know you're there. Let's see, we're looking now for Renton, W7GBB, Bob.
This is W7GBB in Renton. I'm not kidding. I'm using my cell phone, and it was just fine until a minute ago. I'll check. This is really annoying me with that. That really makes a big difference too, you know. Anyway, it's 50 degrees in Renton. We have some fog, and it's 30.01. I'm doing this from memory. And there's 3 miles of wind from the south. This W7GBB, and that's good enough.
Okay. The band is noisy and garbled this morning, so I'm not getting really great reception here. But I did pick up Bob. Richland, 87IT, Mike. Squim, WA7LIK, John.
You skipped over Springfield.
So I did. That would be next in line, W6ZWI6Z. Kirk, down in Springfield. Are you there?
Yeah, Roger, Peter. Good to hear you guys. Good signals from you and Dave this morning. This is WI6 Zulu taking a 3-day weekend, so got an extra check-in for me this week. Down here in Springfield, temperature is 50.4. Wind is light with a max of 5.8 out of the northeast. Rain is 0. I got my rain gauge working this week, so I'll be back on board there. Barometer's 30.00, humidity 86%. Mostly cloudy with patches of blue sky presently. We'll see you guys later on in the weekend. Whiskey India 6 Zulu. Go ahead, Peter.
Okay, thanks, Kirk. Yeah, nice signal out of Springfield this morning. Thank you. Tacoma, N7 KYK Don.
N7 KYK here. Okay, well, you know, Springfield comes in real good up here every day, and I can hardly ever hear Eugene, which is strange. And Sean was booming in up here this morning, so that's the way that's going. Anyway, weather-wise here, we had a low of 43, currently 50, headed for 59. Looks like tomorrow's going to be a really nice day. The clouds are kind of breaking up a little bit, but no real blue yet. 10% chance of rain. Humidity is 95%. Southwest wind of 4. Let's see, 0.3 of an inch of rain overnight. 30.08 for pressure, so it is going up. And the visibility is 10 plus. That's what's going on up here in Tacoma. Back to net and 7KYK.
Okay, thanks, Don. Dave, WB70SV, Vancouver.
Okay, this is WB70SV, Northwest Vancouver. By the way, John in Squim is having antenna problems here, and he says that it's going to be a while before he gets it repaired. Okay, at my QTH at 52.3, we have rain, 0.17 inches in the bucket, and fog and smoke today, and the low was 40.7. Humidity is 96%, barometric 30.12, and the arrow's pointing down, and more rain today. Winds northwest at 8, and visibility only 40 feet. Back to you, WB70SV.
All right, thank you, Dave. Not much different over here in my part of Vancouver. It's raining, and the winds are calm. I've got 49 degrees. maybe it's up to 50 by now. 95% humidity, and the barometer's up a little bit at 30.25. So let's hope we can hear from Yakima this morning, the N2ATZ Chad. So that's the list. Dave, would you be so kind as to shout out for latecomers?
WB7ESV, looking for late Mr. Visitors or whatever for the Washington Information Net. Come now. That's it.
Okay, well, we either had 9 or perhaps 10, depending on whether Gordon was actually in there or not. I didn't hear him. I don't know whether he was there or not. Okay, 10 check-ins. Thank you all. Nice rainy day here in southern Washington. Going to close the Washington Information Net unless there's some latecomers. Then I'm going to stand by for a minute and wait.
Yeah, Gordon was in there, Peter.
Okay, then we had 10. That's great. Anybody else?
Charlie, November.
Okay, well, let's close the Washington Information Net then. Let's see what time it is. It's 9:41 this morning. With the welcome rain wetting the deck. It's KB7RX, and we're going to be clear. What do you say, Dave?
I'm sure it wasn't a problem on his end. But yeah, he's always a lot of fun, and as you probably heard, he burns nothing but oak, firewood. I wish I could say the same thing. Over.
Well, oak burns extremely clean, extremely clean. If that's all, the only wood he burns, that stuff burns cleaner than any wood I know.
Roger that, and I told you before that Cindy's father used to buy a unit of oak slabs delivered for $15. And then he would take each slab in through the basement window and cut them into short pieces on his radial arm saw. Over.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, no, that's a very, very good cleaning, a very clean burning wood. I never burned oak here, but I burned it in campfires when I found pieces of oak up there when I was camping in Northern California. And I'm going to tell you something. It burned so clean, I don't even know if you had hardly any ash left or not. It was absolutely phenomenal. Now, We don't have oak up here, unless somebody has a cultured tree or something they take down. But it just doesn't, it's not normal for around here to get any oak. But anyway, yeah, I heard him talking about the flower power children and a bunch of other stuff there, and chainsaws and one thing or another. But anyway, he was coming in pretty good. I had a preamp on, but he was about a S7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. So, and then your signal would come up for a little while, then drop down. I couldn't quite hear you. You weren't very strong, but audible you were for a while. So I'd say about 50% of the time I could hear what you were talking about, too. Anyway, good morning to you all around. I hope your trip yesterday went well. And I tell you, we had 1.20 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. We got a real ground soaker. Over.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you are catching up. That's for sure. And, yeah, I got your email and glad you were able to get those plywood pieces that worked out for you. That sounds like the way to go, so I'm sure you're happy about that. We did not get any rain in the last 24 hours, but I did get back with a load of Presto logs, and we got them all unloaded, 240 of them stacked and covered with plastic out in the woodshed. So that was good. But anyway, I think there's a chance of showers next few days. But then Sunday evening, Monday, and Tuesday looks like our heavy rain days over here. Over.
Roger. Yeah, we're supposed to get a break, I think, for about a day or so. And then maybe, let's see, what is today, Friday? I think Sunday or Monday, or either Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday, we're going to get a lot more rain. So it's cloudy here now. It looks like it could sprinkle rain, do whatever it wanted. Yesterday was windy and blustery. It was a blustery day yesterday. I'm glad I loosened up the antenna ropes on my wire antennas here about 3 or 4 days ago. I kind of knew there was going to be some blustery winds come in, but everything was fine. A few little small limbs came off the trees, not much, just a little. Lots of leaves came off. I'd say the trees are still about 50-60% loaded with leaves. We haven't really had a killing frost here, Steve. I don't even know if we've had a good honest 32 here. But we have not had a killing frost. There's a lot of leaves. All my grapes got leaves on them. Maybe the very tops are turning yellow a little bit. And the nut trees still have their leaves on them. The birch out there are turning yellow. But there's lots of leaves on the trees yet. A good killing frost, get down to 30 degrees or something, one night or 2 nights or something, and some wind would take all them leaves right off the trees. Over.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how low we have been, but maybe a little below 30. But still, the geraniums were outside the window blocks. They were okay. Cindy had some other flowers that were okay. The grass was white, and we still have plenty of leaves on the trees, too. Too many. But they think maybe middle of next week is our realistic chance of getting a first snow down here. Yesterday I got my oil changed and I got a new battery as well. And I kept the old battery, which is still good. And I was real happy about that, and it went pretty smoothly. I did send you a link to a short video by Tucker Carlson, part of his show last night, talking about the 21-day of diesel fuel reserve that we have left in this country. And he also mentioned that we have a strategic diesel reserve, like the strategic petroleum reserve. But they said if we emptied it, or he said if we emptied it, it would only be enough to last 6 hours. Over.
Yeah, I watched a short program on YouTube last night about this couple, and I don't know, I guess it was a conservative station, but they were talking about the shortage of diesel fuel. I think it was about a day old or something. It says, hey, we only have 22 or 25 days left of diesel, and da-da-da-da-da. And the other guy, there was two people, a woman and a guy, he says, oh, no, we don't. He says, all they got to do is open up fracking and the other wells and stuff. And I said, you know, it takes time to crack that stuff at your refineries. But nevertheless, he says, we wouldn't be in a shortage. It wouldn't take any time at all, and we'd have fuel back. But they're just, it's intentional. This shortage stuff is totally intentional. That's why I say there's somebody behind the scenes doing this on purpose.
Oh, absolutely. It can't be an accident. It can't be a coincidence. It's definitely intentional. Tucker went on to talk about home heating oil, especially in the Northeast where it's used pretty often. And it looks like a lot of people will be paying $5,000 this year for enough heating oil to heat their homes for the season. Also, in the UK, they're forecasting 10,000 people will die from the cold. I thought, boy, that's incredible. I mean, I know the UK gets winter. It's not like they don't. But, you know, it's not Montana. It's not Siberia. It's not Alaska. So, the other thing is, if there is no diesel, the country is basically dead. There's no trucking. There's no rail service. There's no nothing. Over?
That's their intention. You know, they are trying very hard to get a civil war started. They really want that, you know, with all this ATF or, I don't know, FBI raiding. They're trying to get people pissed at each other, but that's not working. So what else can you do? Okay, let's cut their food off and their fuel off. I mean, that's the lifeline, food and fuel. Think about it. You cut that off, and you will create something like that, and they'll just sit back there and say, oh, finally we did it.
Well, roger that. You can't grow food. You know, our agriculture's based on diesel, not just for fertilizer, of course, but just to run the machines, the trucks, all of that. And 3 weeks is Tucker's whole point of this is it should be on the front page. People should really be worried about it. That it's the biggest thing we have to concern ourselves with, but apparently nobody seems to be doing it. And the idea that, oh, you could just start fracking again. No, you couldn't. You can't bring diesel out of the ground and have it hit the consumer in 3 weeks. Over?
Oh, no, it takes time. It takes time to run it through the refineries. But, I mean, we could get back on board within 6 months or something like that. But the thing of it is, this whole thing is a crackpot deal. And I am just sure as shooting that somebody behind the scenes is doing this so intentional. And they should be hung and put away permanently some way, one way or another. But, yeah, no, I heard about that. In fact, I think even BCP, Black Conservative James, has mentioned it 2 or 3 times already about that. In fact, he mentioned it a week ago about the limited supply of diesel. But, yeah, you're right. No, all the trucking will come to a stop. Your trains will come. Your trains run on diesel, too, Steve. Over?
Yeah, basically the whole country does. It's either diesel or jet fuel. No kidding. So just because you don't have a diesel truck or I don't have a diesel truck, it doesn't mean it won't affect us. It'll affect everything. So, I don't know what they're going to be able to do about it in this short time. Like you say, even if they wanted to. And, of course, the elections are coming up in 2 weeks. That's all they can focus on. But I don't know. I sent my brother-in-law an email. I said, you better fill up your truck. You got a new diesel truck. And I'm going to fill up my tractor, which only takes 4 gallons. Don't get me wrong. And that'll leave me about a gallon left in one of my 5-gallon diesel jugs.
and then I'll go next week, hopefully top that off. And that's really all the diesel fuel that I will need personally through the winter. But, I'm not talking about what I need. I'm talking about shutting down semi-trucks who deliver food to grocery stores. Over.
November 7, Echo Charlie Victor.
Guten Morgen, Sean.
Good morning to both of you there. And you know what? It's going to force everybody to start making their own fuel is what's going to happen.
Yeah, but you need the raw product too, though, Sean.
Corn's pretty easy to grow.
Yeah, no, but this, in the fall time of the year, nobody thinks ahead that far.
Boy, ain't that the truth.
Yeah, I knew a guy who got into using alcohol in his Subarus and, doing his own alcohol years and years ago. But at that time, not too many people were doing it. And, of course, now lots of people do.
That's the Subaru thing to do now.
I also knew a guy, or knew him, he just died a few weeks ago. He had a wood-fired pickup truck, over.
Oh, a gasifier? Those are cool.
Yeah, it started on gas, and then he switched it over to the exhaust off the fire.
Those are so cool. That's one of the most ingenious things I've ever seen.
I've seen one of them in my lifetime, and it was amazing.
There was a show, it was like Colony or something like that, and an old gray-haired, bearded guy fired up their generator like that. They were able to run a generator. The only thing I would imagine is you've got to do something to clean that creosote out of the entire intake system.
Yeah, it is a pretty dirty way to do it, but it will work.
And another thing I heard yesterday that they're upset. The industry, no, not industry, but the World Organization is upset because Europe is predicted to have a mild winter this year.
Did you see the story where they were tearing down the wind farm to expand the coal mine next door?
Here in the U.S. or where?
It was either Germany or Poland.
They were getting rid of the coal fire generators to make more windmills?
No, the other way around. They had windmills, and they were older windmills apparently, and they were taking them down, and there was a coal mine next door, so they knew that they had coal on that ground as well, so they were expanding the coal mine. I also saw in Poland, in fact, it was on that Tucker Carlson video link I sent you, a line of people in Poland waiting to buy coal.
Well, I'll tell you something. The coal supplies are big. There's a lot of coal left in the United States, in Europe, and a lot of other places. So that might be the system to go to. Who was it? Oh, I watched Timothy Alberino. I should have sent you the link. But anyway, he was telling about the big meteorite that hit around the last ice age, somewhere between 9,500 and 12,500 years ago. And there was high technology before that on this planet. And then when that hit, it set the Earth into a deep freeze, created the ice age, or mini ice age they called it. And people had to start over just like they were children again.
I saw something about that suggested that there wasn't just one asteroid that hit, that there was another one that hit off the coast of Africa. But I didn't watch the show, so I don't know any more than that.
Yeah, well, anyway, he went on in to talk about that. It was pretty interesting. And I watched Timothy Alberino before on his other stuff, but this was, what was it, episode number 9, and I know I hadn't watched that one before. So I clicked on that last night and watched it. But that was an interesting one. That was pretty interesting. I mean, he told about Atlantis and what was it? I don't know. The Atlanteans and I think it was the Greece went to war. And then when that asteroid hit, it set them both back. It just, of course, Atlantis disappeared, but it leveled Greece too. And so it stopped all the wars and everybody got set back 1,000 years.
Well, and something happened that I don't remember when that greatly expanded the Mediterranean Sea.
Well, you know, I heard that one time somehow, now I don't know if this is true or not, but they said the Mediterranean was actually a lake, and then some cataclysm happened and it became a saltwater sea.
Yeah, I don't remember the details, but I had heard that as well, which is also explains why there's so many underwater cities in the Mediterranean.
Oh, absolutely. There's those things all over, even over in the China area. They've had divers go down somewhere around China and stuff like that, and they've found these huge megalithic stone walls and steps and all kinds of crap. Even what do you call them? Statues of people or something like that, whatever.
Well, I firmly believe we'll never know the truth about anything.
If we imagine a little bit and force these people to talk about it, my mind's still stuck on how they molded stone. I can't figure out if it was through resonance or through heat.
Well, they figure that the fallen angels that were here before the cataclysm of the meteorites, they had the technology to make those stones into big blocks, set them into space, spot, and cut them this way and that way, and it happened all over the world, down in Peru, over in the pyramids, and over all around the world. These big megalithic stone cutting and all that stuff. They all knew about it, and where the technology came from, they don't know.
I'm with Sean. I really believe it was a resonance thing, both in levitating the stones and liquefying them.
Don't know. I don't know how it was done, but all we know is that these blocks were so doggone big that they say that they couldn't even be done. It could not be done today.
How many times I got kicked out of class talking about this stuff as a kid, man?
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't want to talk about it. You know that place down in Florida? What's the name of it? It's like Crystal Palace or Crystal Castle. Not Crystal. You know what I'm talking about, Sean?
I know what you're talking about. That guy that built that castle?
Roger that, and then he had to move it. He was a Lithuanian guy, and he moved it either overnight or over a couple days. All those big rocks and the stone gates, you just push them with one finger. They're perfectly balanced, and they open up. But he had the secret to levitate and move stone, heavy stone.
That was Coral.
Roger that. Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, Coral Castle.
Yeah, that's who it was. And the thing of it is, he said if the general public knew how to do it, it's so simple that you wouldn't believe it. And that was his message written down. Of course, the guy's dead now.
Good morning, Dennis.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. AC7, KIU.
Yeah, morning, Dennis. Anyway, nice day today. No rain so far.
Yeah, same here. No rain for the last couple of days, but it's been cloudy. Blue skies showed up a couple times yesterday, but that was it.
What's up? Breaking up here now. I got a lot of blue blue sky and a few clouds, but we had 1.20 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. It really poured last night.
Well, those storms just kept missing us.
Are you forecast to get anything in the next couple days?
It's supposed to just be cloudy for now, but any of the rain that was coming through the past few days just went right around us.
Well, I think you have a good chance of getting some on Sunday night or Monday from what I saw on the map, but maybe not.
Well, I watched a Pacific Northwest weather guy last night on YouTube, and in the next 3 days, you're going to get slammed, and the West Coast is going to get slammed, and everybody should get some rain.
Okay, speaking of YouTube, you guys are live.
What's happening on YouTube?
Well, I've been messing around with this software stuff. I'm going to do the contest this weekend, so I've just been testing my my interweb, so I'm streaming this stuff over.
Oh, that's right. There's a big radio contest going to happen this weekend. I've been hearing about it.
Oh, I got to tell you about this guy I talked to. I won't mention his call. Anyway, he's a local I talked to on 2 meters the other day. And just for fun, I went to his QRZ page. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I was blown away. It has one little picture of some radio stuff, okay? And another picture of him and his dog. But that's not the point. The point is the whole page is devoted to how his wife left him and took the kids and hooked up with a guy that was at their wedding after she lost a lot of weight, and how devastated he is, and how angry he is, and how sad he is. If he put it to music, it'd be a country western song. Over?
Yeah. I'd have so many guys with their eyebrows way too long bailing out some 20-year-old junkie telling me they got something special. Oh, it's a sad story, though.
It is a sad story, but the idea that you'd put that on your QRZ page, I mean, I still can't believe it.
Well, how long ago did that happen to him? Like 1, 2 years? Usually you're really down in the dumps for a year or two, but after that, you know, you should be up and sailing.
I think a couple years ago, that's my best guess. He goes on to say that the guy that took his wife owns a resort, mentions him by name, and then says, and here he is living in a one-bedroom apartment. I know he's got a new girlfriend because she's licensed as well, and I've talked to her, but I think it's only been a couple years. But my point is, I just didn't expect to see that on QRZ.com. Over.
No doubt. Then everybody's either going to keep talking to you about it or not talk to you anymore.
Well, the reason I looked him up is because I was talking to him on 2 meters, and he told me that my signal was really weak and that I must have a disconnected coax. Well, he was about 30 miles away, something like that, on 2 meters. And I have a 13-element Yagi, and his signal was weak. So I don't know that it was just a problem on my end. So I wanted to find out more about him, and found out he was a general. And apparently, I don't know how long he's been in radio. But, you know, I was just blown away that he would assume that the problem was on my end. My thinking was he had a mag mount antenna for his 2-meter rig, and he'd do a little better if he took his car out of the garage. Over?
More than likely. Holy cow. Hey, I worked 10 meters sideband QRP into the Cayman Islands yesterday.
Boy, that's pretty good.
Very good.
I am having a ball. 10 meter was never open when I got my license, and now it's open right now. The bands have been fun. It should be a good weekend. Hard at 5 watts, but I'm going to give it the challenge.
Yesterday, the bands were really good. Today, you know what? They didn't really start to open up till between 8:30 and 9, it seemed to me, because I kept going from one band, and I went to 20, 15, 17, I checked 10, and then all of a sudden, things started to open up.
Hey, how do you like that 7300 in CW?
You know what? I have not made one CW contact with it yet. I've been so busy with other things and stuff, and I've been reading the manual a little bit. I got the deluxe manual and stuff, but I have not called CQ or made a contact on CW yet. But I will. I've been building a food pantry here, and I got it in the house and screwed on the wall and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just one little project after another, and I haven't got to that yet, but I will.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I can't wait. You'll probably jump on as soon as I start getting a little more proficient with the straight key again. CW is going to be my next big venture, ham radio-wise. I think I'm doing that to avoid studying for my extras, what's really going on there. But yeah, I can't wait to hear your reports for this high-tech fandangoed one. Are you on the 7300 now?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Oh, I've listened on CW and copied a lot, but I haven't called CQ or talked to anybody, Sean. I have listened on CW. It's very, very good. I love the filtering. The filtering system on CW is remarkable, but you don't want to have it on tight filter if you're trying to make contact with somebody. You want to wait till you make contact and then go to the filters. Over?
Yeah, I would imagine. Boy, I was wondering when you were going to say that about being able to receive with those things. Really neat to be able to just dial it in, and to think you guys had, well, all of us had to buy mechanical filters to accomplish that before.
Well, exactly right, because I have, a 500 hertz filter, a little can plugged in the bottom of my 746, and I had another can, but I don't know what I put that in, my R75 or what. But yeah, you're right. You don't have to buy extra $125 filters and carry or open your radio and plug them in and then key them and figure out how to set it into your filter and all that stuff. They're just there.
Very good. I'm glad you're getting to enjoy that there this morning, and it's really cool that you took it out of the box and just jumped and dove head first into it. I can't wait. We'll start working CW on that thing. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Frank.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a lot of fun, and it's pretty easy with the touch menu and stuff and the manual. It's not as confounded as I thought it was going to be, so it's a little easier. And it's a pretty little radio. You know what really amazed me is the weight. The weight of it is about 1/3 of my ICOM 746, and it's about probably 30% less in size. It's a pretty small radio, and the fan on the back is a very, very nice big fan. I really like that.
You know, mine lopes along at 10 watts all day long, and I mean it, all day long on FT8 and other stuff. Never gets warm. I keep the cover on it most of the time or over it. And it's just been a really fun radio to play with. I'm glad you've jumped on the bandwagon with it, and it's working out for you there. Hey, you know, I've net control for a few different nets, and boy, I fired up my amp the other day, and I had a relay go bad in this heat kit finally, so it came off the air, and I just picked up. I'm going to go grab it Sunday. They call it a Commander 2500. I had no clue really what it was, but it was half the price of anything I was looking at, and looks like I got a fairly good deal on something that'll be solid for the shack again. So we're looking forward to that. Anyhow, that's all that's really going on this way, man. I was digging the conversation there. I can't really come up with straight answers anymore because the thought police are shutting us down there. Over.
Where? On a computer or what?
Everywhere. You got to think we're with an administration that got rid of the dislike button on YouTube. Biden did that himself. We're in a really weird time where you can't say stuff or talk about stuff publicly without it being barraged with you're doing something bad, fake, whatever, and it's just, and then censored in many ways.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I noticed they got rid of the dislike thing on some of the YouTube stuff. And now when you push the like button, it lights up red and then goes dark. I mean, it's a different kind of it used to just, click on you when you liked a program or something. But there's, like, you're right. I have noticed a number of programs don't have a dislike button.
Elon Musk to the rescue.
We're hoping so.
Well, he's supposed to be in master control of that Twitter here pretty soon. I guess he made a tour of the plant or wherever they run their operations. I can't remember, but he's supposed to be getting it organized here in another, 2 weeks to a month.
He's taken over now. He's fired a bunch of people already. He's doing a good job for day one.
Well, that's good to hear. And good morning to Jerry.
Good morning. Another thing on your things that you can't rate. Look at the Costco products. Anything that's a Kirkland product, there's a lot of products that you can't rate, but the third-party products, they'll let you rate on it and tell you how terrible they are. But products, the Costco ones, they save or they secure so you can't squash it, like their crappy toilet paper.
Are you serious? That's absurd. Dangerous times, boys and girls.
Well, I agree with what Sean was saying about the thought police, because I got a bulletin from, who was it? I can't remember whether it was Google or EB or somebody, and they says, when you have it, now they're going to think up a name, a code name for you, for when you want to comment on something. You can't pick your own name now. They are going to pick out a code name for you. Unless you want to change it, then you have to go through them.
Well, Facebook did that already. It was anonymous until you did something controversial too many times, and they made you send a copy of your ID.
Did you see how much Facebook went down in value, over $10 billion yesterday?
Ooh, my Rumble might start going up.
The last 2 days, Facebook has been taking a poop on the market. There was one guy predicted that Facebook is going to be history in a couple months.
My daughter's not even into Facebook. Granted, Instagram is still Facebook, but this generation coming up don't even care.
Well, I think the losses were mainly associated with the Meta, however you pronounce that effort. Over.
Yeah, that's getting tanked, and until it becomes the holodeck type idea, then it'll be the greatest thing with robots.
Well, PayPal's taking a slam, too. There's a whole lot of people jumping out of PayPal because they got some sort of dialogue in there that if you say something wrong, they can fine you $2,500 or something.
And doesn't Elon Musk create PayPal?
Don't know. I don't know.
He was one of the founders. I know that.
So there you go.
I don't think he's associated with it now, though.
I would hope not, man, because we're getting into some really crazy times. There was an era, there was multiple generations where even if you couldn't tell me where my 67 cents per gallon went, by every penny, I'd drag you out in the street and tar and feather you. And we are not that type of civilization anymore, and we probably should be. I want to know where my tax money goes.
Talking about 20 minutes ago about the shortage of diesel fuel.
I doubled with you, Frank. Yeah, the diesel fuel.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a fear thing or whether it's really going to happen. You know, I think they really like to jump on the fear wagon first so that they can cut her down later or something like that. I don't think it's going to happen all at once, but I think it's really trying to send a bunch of fear into people.
Well, the problem is the big demand for homeowners to fill up their heating oil tanks right now. So that's part of the increased demand.
Well, like I said, you cut off the food and the fuel, and you paralyze a country. I don't care if it's Europe, here, or any other country.
And then you get some knucklehead group that's going to try to rob a store, and then hopefully that store is going to defend themselves, even if it is for their fat and oil and used grease. And, you know, just all of a sudden, within the flip of a coin, we're Mad Max beyond Thunderdome. Here we go.
Oh, did you hear about Paul Pelosi?
No.
Somebody broke into his house last night, the house in San Francisco, and roughed him up, sent him to the hospital.
Aw.
Yeah, I was bummed that Nancy wasn't home.
Are you sure he just didn't fall down the stairs?
You might have something.
I'm saying, man. Now all of a sudden, San Francisco is going to be tough on crime because they beat up Pelosi.
Yeah, they picked the wrong person in my book.
Said it was a home invasion. They don't have a lot of details, but he did have to go to the hospital.
Somebody needs to super glue themselves to her.
I think she's going to melt on Halloween night.
You know, doggone it, the other day there was a station in here talking about having problems with WinLink, and I can't remember who it was. I was going to help him out, and it's been riding my mind ever since. Did he ever come back?
I don't know. I can't remember. WinLink. I don't remember for sure.
I missed that one.
I know exactly what was going on with him, too, and anyway, it doesn't matter. Sorry, guys. Random thoughts here. N7ECV on the 75 and live on YouTube still.
WB7NZI.
And 7NZB.
Are you doing a YouTube live right now?
Yeah, you guys can hear your signal, and if you just click it should be doing okay. I don't know. My bandwidth isn't great, but I'm just using a silly little laptop, but I'm testing stuff out for when I do the contest today. Over.
Oh, boy, let's talk about Bigfoots and UFOs, you guys, if this is going out over the general public.
This is better than Coast to Coast. That's why I'm here.
I sent you a link on David Paulides' Bigfoot 102. I think I sent it to you, Steve, and it was pretty good. I'm waiting. I think this week or next week he'll have episode number 3 on Bigfoot, but he does a good job.
Yeah, I didn't get that one.
Well, I've seen Bigfoot.
I have heard so many stories. I've been in the mountains millions of hours, and I'm thousands of hours, let's put it that way. I've never seen one, and I always kind of wished I would have. But, you know, if I saw it before it seen me, that would be good. But if it seen me before I saw it, Kitty, stop that. Anyway, I would be afraid then.
He was watching us. It was a scary situation for me, man. It was a very weird day that day. But I hadn't gotten paid by my boss. I was logging right at I was up in Hall Creek, but I was staying right at Grizzly Mountain and Hall Creek. And anyway, my foreman didn't pay us. So I had to find chow that day, and I literally dug a hole and started a fire in the hole and grabbed my .22 and took off. And first I started heading east from camp, and all the dogs were following me, and I come back up and left the dogs with the YL there at camp and started to head west. And as I headed west, only about 150 yards or so from camp, I was right on the road there, Hall Creek Road. And I crossed over Hall Creek Road, and there's just this hill of about 20 feet or so, 40 feet. It's just a hillside. And right at the base of the hill was a grouse. I could see this grouse just kind of sitting there. And I went, oh, son of a gun, I'm going to go ahead and go check out this grouse, and I'm going to eat this bird. Well, as I started to cross the road and make it to the other side there, I kind of looked up and I went, man, that's the reddest deer I've ever seen. And at the very crest of the hill, I could just see what it ended up being just this figure's head for a moment, just standing there with his eyes above the crest of the hill, right? So he's below the crest of the hill looking at my camp and me. I don't think he realized that I didn't see him until right then, but just oddly enough, I walked right up on this guy. And as I'm making the visual notation of that's the biggest and reddest deer I've ever seen, this creature stands up and turns around 180 to walk away from me, and I just see this huge red furred figure stand up and take a step down the hill, right, because he's moving on the other side of the hill away from me. And at that very moment, it let out the hair-raisingest, chillingest scream I ever heard and whacked the tree it was right next. It just whacked that tree like it would have just knocked me 10 foot in the air if it had hit me. And it just went away. And my brain was still on the concept of taking out this grouse. I missed the grouse 3 times. That poor stick Indian probably thought I was shooting at him, and I was just trying to get the bird at the base of the hill in front of me. I wasn't even sending around his way. But yeah, I had a stick Indian watching me, and it was an interesting time in life. That was 2008, I think, just before winter.
Now, you left out part of the good part. Very interesting. But I want to know, you said Grizzly Mountain or Grizzly Ridge or Grizzly Canyon. Where was that? Was it in Washington, Oregon, Idaho? What part of the state? Blah, blah, blah.
Right outside Inchelium, Washington, Grizzly Mountain and Hall Creek Road.
Okay, I got an idea now. Okay, that's over around Inchelium. Well, Border Patrol friend of the family, him and his buddy, during deer season, tracked one over in Colville area, up in some real rugged mountains. And so that's kind of the general area where they were being seen back in, that was back in the 60s, I think.
I guarantee it was him, and just an amazing time. And it was a shame I was shooting at that grouse because it probably scared it off, and nothing came around other than mountain lion and a pet bear after that for a while too. But anyway, I'll never forget it. That was the craziest thing I'd ever experienced, and the scream it let out, and the thump on that tree, the concussion of it hitting that tree, I'll never forget it. And it was only 100 feet away from me, tops.
Wow. That's a first person account that I've heard in a long time. That's very interesting.
That grouse is good.
Yeah, if you would have had a camera, you would have been a rich man with footage like that.
I never even stepped over the hillside. I was so scared, Steve.
Well, I can believe it.
I think that's why you missed the grouse 3 times. You're still shaken from seeing the animal, or the Sasquatch.
Yeah, I literally never stepped over that hillside of the mountain, and I kicked myself in the butt because there had been a fur and a footprint, at least one.
Oh, I bet you.
Well, I'll go back up there one of these years, man, and hang out for this season. He'll remember what I smell like.
Oh, that's another thing. They're supposed to have a really rank odor. Did you smell any of that in the air? Maybe the wind was the wrong direction.
Well, I mean, he probably thought I was a mate. Have you smelled me?
I've smelled myself when I've been camping for 6 days, and it's not good.
I was out there for an entire year.
He just didn't like loggers.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. I was on his friend list for sure. Anyway, that was a long time ago, but that was living out in the woods, man. That was having a good time.
About what year was that, Sean?
2008 into 2009, I believe.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
I know we left that winter, that February 2009, I guess, is when we finally got out. We were the only ones left in the woods. We're still working, but we were the only ones camping. That's a whole nother story, man. Everybody was watching that logger, American Logger or whatever it was on National Geographic or Discovery Channel there. And doggone it, man, they'd have 6 or 7 people out there catching chains and chokers and hooking logs and stuff. I was working a high line that was at least 3,000 feet and get at least 4, if not 800-foot logs going. And I was running chokers and catching chokers and doing all of that by myself, running the toots. I was over that mountain with them chokers by myself through the whole winter and most of the time out there. The natives wouldn't show up to work. It's just the plain and simple of it. There were a couple that would show up every now and then, a few days a week. But, I had those toots on my belt within the first week, and then I was catching chokers and hooking logs by myself for a whole season out there. It was a good time, man. I had a great time and made some really cool friends with squirrels and rabbits.
Well, that's pretty rough work. Like you say, I did see some of those TV shows, and amazing people don't get hurt out there. I'm sure they do.
Well, yeah, we work hurt, man. Anyway, thanks for letting me share that story, guys.
Oh, I loved it. The only other first-person account that I know of personally is from the Border Patrol guy that used to be in the family. He's passed away now. But they never seen the animal, but they tracked it for a long way in the snow.
That would be scary.
And I had footprints. I have the plaster cast of the footprints, but I gave them both to my son, so he's got them now. In fact, I might still have pictures of them on my files somewhere.
Then I've been playing around with this silly little ham clock I've got, and it sure is fairly accurate for the maximum usable frequency, and it tracks spots and stuff in me and the clusters and all that silly stuff. But looking at what should be opening and how it opens, it's almost on point.
Does it show you the gray line and things like that?
Oh, yeah, you can check it out on the YouTube there, Frank, if you want to. Just click on it right now. It's showing the maximum usable frequency at the local time, and then I can switch it up, and it'll show just a gray line. It's also listing who's heard me within the last, 12 hours.
So how does it work to show the MUF? It doesn't just show it out of Boulder. It shows it from your QTH?
Yes, I think you can take a look at it, too, there and get a better description of it. What's blowing me away is there's these weird, unnatural ripples it's got. That says HARP all over it to me. I have the map centered on my QTH the best I can get it. And then it, from that center point, it is showing me, right now it's saying in reality anywhere between 20 meters and 40 meters is like the central U.S., and then it does show a couple of ripples over near Japan and China. And then everything else is looking like it's going from 10 meter all the way up to 50 megahertz. 35 is where this is at, but it shows it fairly good, and then it's got something else on there. It's the drap, which is a different visual of maximum usable frequency, and that one's kind of more like closer to what's really capable and open, I guess. And it's just a color reference there. Steve, over.
Yeah, okay. No, that is neat for sure. Well, I can't look at it from here in the shack. I don't have internet here. I have it in the other part of the house, but not here.
Yeah. I take it that's a real-time clock on your computer system, Sean, over?
So that's the real-time UTC off of a GPS right there. So that's as close as I can get it for real-time. And then that map, I'm not sure how often it updates, but it's changed 3 times since I've been up at about 5 o'clock this morning. Frank, over?
Yeah, roger.
And the rest is just the signal spectrum there of everybody's signal and the remote software. And right now I've got the spotting network where my camera would normally go.
Hey, do you guys have any security cameras around your house? N7 WAV?
Everywhere. Game cams outside.
Ethernet?
You guys doubled?
I got game cams outside, Jerry.
Well, I wonder if anybody has any power over Ethernet, the voice over IP cameras that's powered up by their network switch.
I don't run that power over Ethernet stuff or anything like that because of the birdies I get.
Because of why?
I get weird birdies on 20 and just some weird, it's RFI.
Oh, yeah, I get tons of crap here on 80 meters, and I've tried to, of course, I'm going to go grab a bunch of power injectors from work to try to bypass my new power over Ethernet network switch that's in the garage, which is where all they're feeding from. So I can power that down, I'll see it goes away, or if I slowly start unplugging cameras, they slowly go away. But I can't tell if it's just because it's a new network switch transmitting a bunch of crap, and 10 meters, I don't see any at all, but down here in 80, holy crap, it just, my Norris floor just goes through the roof. Anyway, but so I want to grab power injectors from work, kind of sneak them into the bag, it's not like I'm stealing them or anything, but that way I can bypass this network switch. So I don't know if it's the switch I bought off of Amazon or because that 48 volts is added to the network cables that are running all the way around my house now. That's just acting like a antenna, but I believe it's a 48 volt DC. It's like they're 30 watts. It's the PoE Plus, whatever, it's the newer ones. But yeah, so I don't know if it's just because the wires have the power onto it or it's my network switch. But it's tons of noise. And I've got 5 and I got a 6th camera to install. But at first I thought it was the infrared, but no, it does it during the day also.
Hey, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Do you have those extendo things plugged into your wall that have like 5 outlets on them?
I mean, just where you've got where you get more outlets out of a switch. I mean, so I've got like 70 things in my network at home, and camera. Well, actually, yeah. Now I'm probably pushing close to about 80 with all the cameras and what have you. But yeah, nothing else seems to give me any noise until these things come around. But I do have smart switches that I turn on and off, or lights, or some that are in the wall, some are external, and what have you. But so the thing you're asking about is like a multi-outlet thing that just plugs in and gives you more connections.
Roger. Some of those, not all of them. Some of those are notorious for putting out RF. So I've replaced 1 or 2 at my place. You get the cheap ones, and they'll put out a noise and a birdie and a hum, and I mean they're crap. You get the expensive ones, the really good ones that are built good and they're quiet.
Yeah, I can imagine even power strips that have any circuit protection stuff in it, since there's circuitry in there. Who knows? But since I listen to 570 KVI drive around in the company van, man, there's some intersections that are just super loud. I'm thinking, what the hell is here that's so freaking loud? Well, a lot of those intersections do have cameras, so it's the same thing. It's about the same low band. It's lower than here, whatever. But so yeah, maybe I'll start paying attention now that I know that it's my damn cameras here killing me.
Hey, Steve?
Yeah.
Hey, you think they melted those rocks with energy and resonance at the same time?
Well, of course, I don't know, but I've seen a lot of shows that depicted what they thought might be the device to levitate rocks. And I think it was with audio frequencies as far as the movement of the rock, as far as melting the rocks and turning them liquid and then letting them dry so they had tight joints. I can't imagine that there wasn't some energy involved, but I still think it was mostly acoustic. Over?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it too. Like, it was just a strange combination of the two with some form, and it made it work. You know, the resonant energy and moving things, there was I can't remember which show it was, but they went back far enough to talk about some of the almost pagan and primitive era stone circles and stuff. That they could prove that some of the same circles were in like northern South America, if that makes any sense, and over in Europe, and through the same generations were probably set up and designed for acoustics, and then to be able to resonate the rocks even thousands of years later and stuff. So that was pre-Egyptian era is where I would assume most of that idea came from.
I've seen several shows about acoustic archaeology that are very interesting, that talk about some caves or dugout places that look like they were dug out with a machine, that have some very interesting acoustic properties to them. I've seen a deal in India. It was a outdoor, call it a temple, and each column was rock, but it was hollowed out rock, and if you struck the column, it would produce a certain note, and they even took one apart and sent it to a lab in England. They couldn't find anything that would explain this, how each column would be a different perfect note. But I think most of that is in the acoustic range, in our hearing range. But acoustic archaeology is something you might want to look up on YouTube and see some of the shows about that.
Yeah, very cool. That'd be more information into it. Thank you.
Yeah, he doesn't come on anymore, or seldom, but if you ever get a chance to talk to IBE, he's a big fan of that.
I did get an email from Mike, IBE. He got his deer, and it's in the locker by now, all cut up and everything. And he's doing fine, and he's still, he cleaned up his shop, and he's doing some stuff. So now that he's got his deer, he said he might spend more time going fishing. But he sounded good. They're doing fine.
Oh, that's good.
Just a few more hours before this contest picks up.
Yeah. Clue us in. How long is the contest? Is it 2 days, 24 hours, 36? What's the deal? Is it all bands, certain bands? What is it?
It's 48 hours, 10, 15, 20, 40, 75, and 160. And it's sideband only. QRP 100 watts or high power. Over.
So it's not digital and it's not CW, either one of those?
Not this weekend. Sideband only.
Oh, okay. Okay, the band are going to be ripping with sidebanders this weekend then for 48 hours. And that must start Friday night, tonight?
Yeah, it'll start here at 00 on UTC.
Roger. I was reading in CQ magazine. I guess I've got maybe 5 issues or so. But they do sponsor a lot of contests. And there's kind of a controversy going on because none of their sponsored contests allow Russians to win any kind of awards in the contest as punishment for the war in Ukraine. Participate, but they can't win. So a lot of hams are writing in saying, yeah, I agree with that policy. And a lot of hams are writing in saying, look, it's not the ham's fault. Over.
That blows my mind that we've even incorporated that into our communication at all. I hear that all up and down the bands.
That's taking ham radio into the political arena, and I don't like that.
Nope.
Yeah, don't blame me for what my government does, and I won't blame somebody else for what their government does.
Yeah, I want to talk to a drunk Russian at 2 a.m. Or Ukrainian. I did make a contact with the FT8 Ukraine station when they were shut down, blacked out. That was cool.
I talked to Moscow the other day on sideband. Of course, we didn't bring up politics.
Yeah, why would you, man? He probably built all his equipment.
He did build his linear, because I asked him about that, because I knew a lot of Russians used to build their gear, and he said, no, I built the amp.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I love catching those guys when they're having as much fun as we are.
Well, about a month ago or so, I did talk to a Rusky. I think it was a RU. I think, let's see, where is it on my log here? RZ3DCJ near Minsk, MINSK.
CW?
That was site. Wait a minute here. Let's see. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I got to get to work in my key, man.
Mine was on sideband at 21.320 at 1550 UTC. The guy's name was Tolly, and he was just a few miles from Moscow.
I'm hoping that 21 meg's going to be open for this contest because everybody will be on 10.
Well, one thing's for sure, I don't think they'll do the contest on 17. At least Monty said sometimes they will splatter over on the work bands, but that would mean, okay, if 15, 20, and 10 and all that stuff's going, 17 and 12 would be unfettered.
In a perfect world, that's how that would work out for the weekend, too. It's rough, man. I'll call CQ and maybe average a couple contacts an hour, especially when it's busy, and then boom, somebody else come right on top of me because, for one reason or the other, they don't hear me. But 5 watts is a hard weekend, man.
I don't envy it. No, QRP during the contest has got to be, you better have patience.
It's all about testing my equipment. What's fun is, if I want to check conditions, I'll go to 7200 where all them lids are at and just call it my 5 watts and then get about 20 of them round up and acting stupid on the frequency and go, okay, everybody can hear me still, and I'll go move up the band a bit.
Oh, I talked to W1AW this morning.
Nice.
I heard him on. I did hear him on there, and he was picking up calls one after another. That was probably somebody visiting and operating the station over?
Yeah, he said they had several operators. He was using FTDX 5000, amplifier. I never got the antenna. It was just a real quick contact. Over.
I heard him, but he wasn't very loud in here, probably S2 or something, but I did hear him, and I don't know who he was talking to, because some of the station he was talking to I did not hear.
Then I called CQ on 18.114, thinking I might pick up Walter this morning, and nobody came back. But then an ST station from Poland started calling CQ at 115. I know he must have heard me. Over.
It should be fun today. If you need something new, you'd be out there to grab it. You know, I talked to a technician. He was in his 70s. He got his license at 68, was still a technician only, and that lucky guy gets to play 10 meter and all that stuff as a tech now and enjoy the heck out of all of it. He'll have his DXCC before me.
Yeah, isn't that something? They give a lot of that spectrum to some of the beginner classes, which is probably okay.
Well, I just mean on sideband, they got 28.3 to 28.5. I've had my license since 1993, and 10 meters has never been this good.
Well, you know what they were proposing about a year or so ago, and I don't know if it ever came about or not. They were proposing giving 3.9 to 4.0 privileges to techs. Now, I don't think it went. I don't think it flew. Over.
They've been hearing something about that. I think they're still voting on it.
Could be.
Hooked up to some kind of a DX newsletter via email, and they notify me almost every day about a new DX station that's going to be somewhere. Usually it's, a month or two out. But if you really wanted to chase DX, that'd be a good thing to get hooked up with.
Would you share that with me, sir?
Yeah, I'll send you the link, and you can figure out how to get on their newsletter. And then they'll send you something pretty much every day.
That'd be outstanding. I don't know why, but I'm getting bit by the DX bug.
Well, I was mostly interested in finding out when somebody from Antarctica would be on, and they did tell me. I'll have to go back and look at my email. I think it wouldn't be until November for that one.
I saw something come across my headline on my clock. There's some runway they're going to activate.
Well, I'm not really big into DX, but it is kind of fun to find out about some of these guys. I did read about a guy who talked to Antarctica sideband on 3 watts, but I don't know what frequency it was on.
I've worked their station. They've heard me on Whisper at 1 watt.
Well, you probably heard me say this, but I had him help me with my algebra homework in 1964-65 from Costa Rica.
No, I've not heard that one. That's neat.
Yeah, I was in the 8th grade, and I'd even have to point the beam long path, and my dad had a Drake TR3, 300 watts.
Wow.
Still got their QSL card.
Man, I'm going to have to work on my interview with you guys. That'd be some fun stuff to do. You have to check them out there, the 5 questions I ask a ham. It'd be really neat to get you guys in for about 15 minutes.
Well, I'm sure Frank's got a lot more stories than I do.
About what?
Oh, you'd be surprised when anybody answers. I just got done working it with a station out of Australia, and his answers, it's the same 5 questions, but his answers were pretty neat, man. It's a cool little video.
Well, what are the questions about generally?
It's 5 standard questions there, Frank. If I ask you, I'm going to have to fire everything up and get started on the interview. Over.
Oh, well, okay, but are they like ham radio questions, or are they things outside of ham radio? Just, generally.
It's completely all about ham radio, so I don't cause any conflict. Over.
Roger, gotcha.
Although, this is why I tune in with you guys, right? Because you guys are up on subject matters I have interest in, and I've always wanted to get a better record of them for sure, and this has been the best way. I usually would have my 7300 recording the audio, but after a while, man, that card just gets punched full of me tuning up or giving my call CQ for about 9 hours.
I'm starting to get some sunshine coming in here. I just opened the door a minute ago, and it's cool out there. It's not very warm at all.
Monday it was cold here, but we're 51 today.
Yeah, I got 50, but it feels very brisk out there. WB7NZI.
Well, I'm still here, but really hard to hear everything. A lot of noise, and you guys are fading out on me. KC7, KIU.
Well, you're still coming in over here, Dennis. Not very strong, but I still hear ya.
Yeah, I copy you, Dennis.
I can hear you, Dennis.
Yeah, I heard you guys. It was really, really winky right now.
Well, this is the time the band usually dumps us.
I worked Japan and a couple other stations, 75 meters, FT8 at about 10 watts 2 nights ago, so it's getting long at night.
The afternoon on 17 and 15 meters, I would say around 3:30 in the afternoon, Japan comes in here like a swarm of hornets.
Yeah, I think you could work Japan on QRP that time of day.
On what, Ben?
Yeah?
On what, Ben?
A mine that I just went down and visited in Texas. He's the one that moved from Florida to get the hell away from Jay Inslee. Yeah, he's the one I visited a week ago in Texas. We talked to each other on 10 meters yesterday.
Wow, good. Well, Texas comes in really good here on 10 meters. I've communicated down to Texas on 10 pretty easy.
Yeah, and he's just got a crappy homemade, put it up every night and take it down every night so nobody sees it in the morning because he's renting in a house that's got HOAs and whatever. So the antenna's up and down on this pole he's got, whatever. He's got a inverted V dipole, so he's not very far off the ground again. That's pretty good, you know. Neither one of us has super bunch of height, although 10 meters doesn't need the height like this band would, but whatever. But anyway, yeah, I was impressed, and it was fairly loud and clear. I mean, the first time we contacted a couple months ago, we could barely hear each other, but not enough to make out audio. But this one was clear as day. That was pretty cool.
10 meters has improved a lot in the last month, and you shouldn't have any problem. Did you call him up and say, let's try 10 meters, or was it by accident?
No, he, I can't remember. We talk on DMR all the time. He set me up with the Anytone radio with a hotspot and a Pi Zero and what have you, but so we talk on the radio, and he's like, hey, I think 10 meters is going. Let's see if we can find a frequency. I'm like, holy crap, I can hear you, dude.
What time of day was that?
It was almost quitting time for me. 4 o'clock, so it was about 6 o'clock his time, so he was like in a panic, like, dude, you better, I think I was in the bathroom when he first called me or something. You better hurry up, because I'm losing daylight. It's going quick.
Roger.
Yeah, I saw Tiffany Smiley last night.
Oh, in person?
In person, yeah, I didn't talk to her, but I was at the old historical Everett Theater, and K7 or 570 KBI, the AM conservative station, had a I don't know what I forget what they call it, pre-election whatever, and it was kind of a big deal because they were saying how they couldn't do it for the last 2 years because of the pandemic, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, the theater was pretty much packed. A bunch of old farts, so I felt like a young guy in there, but still, it was kind of nice. So Brandy, what's her name? She's kind of she's not a left wing, she's not a right wing, and I forget, Brandy's somebody, she's a news lady that's on the news all the time. She was there, and John Carlson and Ari guy. Anyway, I don't know if you listen to that station at all, but I think he did. But anyway, both those guys were there. It was pretty interesting.
Well, I hope she beats Patty Murray. There's a lot of Patty Murray's been sending flyers out and all kinds of crap, but I hope Smiley beats her butt.
Oh, me too. 30 years is enough. She's done nothing but destroy and go along with really stupid, crappy policies that do nothing but destroy us. So, time to go, lady. Why are you saying you're going to fix things now? What the hell have you been doing for 30 years? Been destroying crap.
Well, one thing that burns my butt, both Murray and Kent will get more and more and more money to fight these forest fires, but they still can't seem to put them out. And it's federal money. They keep campaigning for more and more, and they get it. They get this more and more federal money to fight these fires, but everything keeps burning up.
It's like the homeless people. They don't want the homeless people to go away because then there's no way to scam money out of us. It's the biggest money laundering scheme on the planet.
I agree.
No, so in Texas, these big cities, whatever, now granted they have, there are a lot of flat land, so there's 4, 5, 6, 8 highways to get to one location. We're not just one pipe like we are. The only way to get to Seattle or south is I-5. Unless you want to take logging roads or hike the whole way or whatever. Anyway, but the road conditions there are absolutely beautiful. The roads are in amazing condition, whatever. So that's their tax dollars actually going to work. And the rest areas are absolutely beautiful. Big, huge play areas for the kids to play in with covered, because, it's hot there. So the toys that they play on are covered so that the heat's not beating on it. Or when it rains like hell, they're not getting rain. But not a single homeless person, no graffiti, no garbage, absolutely gorgeous, beautiful rest areas. And we were on 4, 5, 6 of them, all the way a 10-hour trip to go from Dallas to El Paso, and just amazingly clean. And then the people there were going, yeah, that's because our tax dollars actually go for what it was intended to.
Have you noticed that in Oregon? I used to travel down to Oregon to go fishing and camping and stuff quite a bit. But in Oregon, in every eatery, they would have slot machines and gambling machines, the cards you pick out numbers and win money if you can and stuff. And all that money went to the taxes to pay for the roads and stuff. And the roads in Oregon were absolutely immaculate. And I wonder, well, why don't they do that up here instead of raise taxes? And, the tabs down in Oregon it used to be something like, what was it, $40 for 2 years or something for your tabs, and up here they jag you about $80+ for 1 year.
That's a very good point. So 20, 30 years ago, when it was a big deal when the lottery first came in, this is going to support schools, this is going to support our roads and all this other stuff. So why are we still begging and trying to get all this extra money for schools and stuff? And schools need huge upgrades and what have you. I mean, we've got a few schools around here that are absolutely gorgeous, so somewhere the money is coming from somewhere. But why do they have to keep raising taxes for schooling if there's billions of dollars going through our lottery system that's supposed to be supporting our schools? Okay, then where's the freaking money going? It's like nobody talks about it, and like one of them was up to $700 million yesterday or a couple days ago or something like. Okay, that means there's billions of dollars getting shoved in the system. If you're going to let somebody win $700 million, well, I'm sure there's 10 times that behind it, supporting us going in our pocket. So where's that money going? Nobody's talking about it.
My problem with the schools is the more they pay per student, the less quality they get on the other end. for $20,000 a year per student, you should be able to hire a full-time tutor. Over.
I agree. Yeah, no, that's awfully expensive. And here in this state, they keep raising gas taxes. So I bet you there's not a year that goes by they add a few cents to the gas tax, and that's just absolutely preposterous. They're raking in money on the lotto, the lottery. I don't know where. Oh, this pot money. Oh, Jesus, they're making. When they first started making money on this pot stuff, it was into the millions of dollars into their coffers by selling marijuana.
Well, you give me a drill sergeant for a tutor, and I guarantee Johnny will be able to read and do arithmetic. N7MZP.
Amen, bro. WB7NZI.
Hey, weed them out real quick one way or the other, and I'd vote for a drill instructor if the drill sergeant couldn't cut it.
Well, I guess I'm going to pull the plug, get a little firewood, bring it in, take the dog for a walk, all that stuff. No rain. Pretty nice day considering, so get out there and do something. But fun talking to everybody today. Hope everybody has a good one. And we'll be on frequency again in the morning. And good luck with the contest there, Sean. This is N7MZP.
All right. Well, Steve, great to hear you this morning, and thank you there, man. I'll have a good time, I hope, for a while anyway, and I still got to pick up that amp on Sunday, so hopefully that'll be how I close the day out, mobile, having a good time. Anyway, good to hear you, Steve, and I'll probably roll out of here too, so good morning to Steve, Frank, Dennis, everybody else.
Yeah, Roger, Sean, and Steve. Yeah, well, you have a good day over there. I think we'll have a little bit of open sky for a while here, at least, after that heavy rain we had. And I got a few things on my list to do also. With that wind, it blew down a few branches, got leaves. I don't want to rake the yard. I'm going to wait till they all come down and then rake it. Then put them in piles and then burn it later on down the line. But anyway, yeah, it's time to get busy. I see it's after 11 already, and everybody have a wonderful day. Yeah, and good luck on that contest thing. I'll probably dial around and listen in the next 2 days just to see what the heck's going on. I won't understand it, but I'll have the radio on. Probably be a good day to do some CW on one of the work bands or something. Anyway, it's not going to be a real busy day around here, but I have a lot of little projects to do, so talk to you tomorrow morning, and everybody keep their ears tuned and have a lot of fun. God bless everybody. This is WB7NZI, listening out.
All right, have a good one, Frank. N7WAV. I'll have the radio on this weekend.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, I'll try and click her on in the evening, too, sometimes, and we'll catch you later, Jerry. And say hi to Arlen. It's easy to remember her name because it's kind of like Arlington. And anyway, say hi to her and thank her again for all those good stuff that she brought up for me to eat. Over.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I never thought about that. Arlen and Arlington. Yeah, and then I think you knew she did just pass her U.S. citizenship. I can't remember if I told you that.
I didn't know that. I knew she was going to do something like that, into it or something. But God bless her, and congratulations, both.
Yeah, she could have done it years and years ago, but she sat on it like 8 or 9 years. It took a bunch of her friends doing it for her to film. You know, I wouldn't want to lose my citizenship going to another country, so yeah, it was no big deal. Just whenever she wanted to do it. So yeah, she was in and out in 15 minutes. Most people are in there like 45 minutes to like 2 hours. She answered the questions so freaking fast, the reading and writing and all the questions. She was in and out in 15 minutes. Like, holy crap!
Well, that's good. Did she have to go to Olympia or what?
Oh yeah, go to Olympia. So oh no, not Olympia. Excuse me, Seattle. It's the USCIS office that's up on the hill there, kind of in the industrial area, whatever. But it's funny. She has to go there, sit in an office so she can talk to somebody over video. Somebody that's working from home. That's stupid.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, but anyway, she passed, and she'll get her papers and all that other good stuff. So congratulations once again. And I wish I could say the United States of America is still the greatest country on the planet, but some days I have my doubts.
Yeah, and I'll let you go. But I just one more comment. So they immediately do the signing in right there. They don't make you come back to do the oath taking, whatever. But it's funny. There's two people in the back of the auditorium that are ready to sign you up to vote. And it's amazing that the only two people in the room wearing 2 masks each are the two that are signing up to vote. And they were super, super nice. So I was just itching to make a comment as I was walking away, like, awesome, another vote for Trump. But I didn't say anything. I kept it to myself.
Yeah, you should have asked them what part of California they were from. Hi.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, and they both had 2 masks on. I'm like, God, you freaking idiot. Anyway, have a good day. N7WAC.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I went into the glasses place where I'm arguing with them about my glasses, and they're all masked up down there. And they didn't offer me a mask or nothing. I just walked in there and sat down and argued with them and walked out. But anyway, they were all masked up too. Some places they have the Stockholm Syndrome, I guess is what it's called. Over.
Oh, yeah, when I go to my dentist now, they don't, even though they're all masked up because wink, wink, they're supposed to. My wife always, she'll grab a mask like, oh, hell no, put that freaking thing back in your pocket. You don't put that damn thing, you never put it on voluntarily. Make them ask you or force you or make them supply it. But anyway, I asked them about it. I'm like, nah, we don't say anything to the patients anymore because you're taking off for us to get in your mouth anyway. Anyway, in the beginning they used to ask us, but they don't anymore.
Yeah, Roger. Well, they put a rubber boot in your mouth and try and gag you to death.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you later. Take care, Jerry. WB7NZI. Good morning to you, Dennis, if you can hear me.
Weekend also. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Kilo 7, Charlie Lima Juliet.
Kilo 7, Charlie Lima Juliet. Got you on the paper.
Roger, Roger.
All right. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Whiskey 7, Juliet Hotel November.
Okay, I got Whiskey 7, Juliet Hotel, and static took out your last letter. Do it again.
Whiskey 7, Juliet Hotel November.
Okay, Whiskey 7, Juliet Hotel November. Got you on the paper.
Roger, Roger, 7-3.
7-3. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Kilo Echo 7, Papa Bravo Zulu, Sandpoint, Idaho.
All right, Kilo Echo 7, Papa Bravo Zulu out of Sandpoint, I think you said. We got you on the paper, Roger.
Thank you for the check.
All right, have a good day. Who else do we have for the noontime net? Early check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there?
Kilo 7, Juliet Delta Tango.
Kilo 7, Juliet Delta Tango. Got you on the paper.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You have a good day also. This is WA7 Tango Uniform Echo in Central Oregon. We're looking for early check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there? Okay, Victor Echo 7, Yankee Oscar, we got you on the paper. You have a good weekend also. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Kilo Mike 6, Whiskey November Uniform.
Kilo Mike 6, Whiskey November Uniform on the paper.
Roger, Roger. Have a great day.
You have a good day also. You're 5'9", maybe plus some in Central Oregon. Nice signal. Who else do we have for the noontime net? Early check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there?
Kilo Alpha 7, India Papa Oscar.
Kilo Alpha 7, India Papa Oscar, got you checked in.
Roger, Roger. Have a good day.
You have a good day also. Who else do we have for the noontime net? Early check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there?
check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there? Alpha Kilo 2 Bravo. We got you checked in, Roger. All right, you're a little bit light, so I didn't really catch what you were saying there, but have a good day. You're welcome. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Kilo Echo 7, Bravo, Bravo, Quebec.
Kilo Echo 7 Barbecue. We got you checked in, Roger.
Roger, Roger. 73.
73. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Kilo Alpha 7, Whiskey Romeo Uniform.
Kilo Alpha 7 Whiskey Romeo Uniform. Got you checked in, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Thank you much.
You're welcome. Thanks for being there. Who else do we have for the noontime net? Kilo Fox 6. I think it's Tango Mike Sugar. Did I get that correct? Okay, that time I got Kilo Fox 6 Romeo, and then you took a fade. Do it one more time. We'll see if we can pull it out. Okay, I'm having a little difficulty with that one with the noise. Anybody have a copy on that station?
Romeo Mike Kilo.
Thanks for the assist. Kilo Fox 6, Romeo Mike Kilo. We got you on the paper. Okay, and who else do we have for the noontime net?
Good morning, Whiskey Alpha 7, Government Furnished Equipment.
All right, Whiskey Alpha 7, Government Furnished Equipment. We got you checked in.
We'll do contact.
Contact, go.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Government Furnished Equipment. Question, was you going to be a relay station or anything?
Good morning, Lyle, WA7GFE. I talked on the phone on Monday morning, and we did talk so much about relay, but about being a net control. And we're trying to look at the ways of breaking it up instead of making it 2.5 hours, making it a little bit shorter session than that.
Yeah, Roger. We did that one Tuesday, so okay. I was just wondering. I hadn't heard anything further on that on year one to be. So anyway, I'd like to hear you in here someday.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to happen. Just a matter of getting it all worked out.
Okay, very good. Just kind of wanted to be kept updated on that. So you have a good day. And back to, let's see. Geez. You know something? I can't remember his call right now, and I can't remember his name. Anyway, back to you.
Okay, Lyle. This is WA7 Tango Uniform Echo, Carl in Central Oregon, looking for early check-ins for the noontime net.
Thank you.
Kilo Bravo 7, Zulu Bravo Hotel. Kilo Bravo 7, is it Zulu Oscar Romeo?
Zulu Alpha Romeo.
Okay, Kilo Bravo 7, Zulu Alpha Romeo. Got you on the paper.
All right, thank you. That's mobile.
Well, you got a good mobile signal into Central Oregon. You're doing well. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Kilo Golf 7, Quebec Bravo Hotel.
Kilo Golf 7, Quebec Bravo Hotel. Got you checked in, Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Okay, and there was another one in there with him. Who was that?
Kilo November 6, Kilo Bravo Sierra.
Kilo November 6, Kilo Bravo Sierra. Got you on the paper.
Roger, Roger. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being there. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Whiskey 7, Juliet Victor Lima, +1.
Whiskey 7, Juliet Victor Lima, and Whiskey 7, Juliet Victor India. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Have a good day.
You have a good day also. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Alpha India 6 Delta.
Alpha
Alpha India 6 Delta. Got you on the paper.
Roger, roger.
All right, who else do we have for the noontime net? Here, a light went in there. Try it again. Okay, I got the Kilo 7 that time. Anybody have help on that one?
Oscar Uniform Foxtrot.
Okay, Kilo 7, Oscar Uniform Foxtrot. We got you on the paper, Roger. All right, who else do we have for the noontime net? Early check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there?
Kilo Charlie 7, Hotel.
Okay, Tom, Kilo Charlie 7, Papa Hotel. Got you checked in, Roger.
Yeah, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you also. Who else do we have for the noontime net? Early check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there?
Whiskey 7, Lima, Romeo Mike.
Whiskey 7, Lima, Romeo Mike. I got you on the paper, Roger.
Roger, roger. Thanks for picking me up, and have a great day, everyone.
You have a good day. You're 5'9" in Central Oregon, by the way. Who else do we have for the noontime net?
Kilo Mike 6, November Tango Whiskey.
Kilo Mike 6, November Tango Whiskey. Got you on the paper.
Roger, 73.
73. Who else do we have for the noontime net? Need one more for the noontime net. Who's out there? One more check-in for the noontime net. Who's out there? Looking for early check-ins for the noontime net. Who's out there?
Anybody, anywhere, any call for the noontime net. I was trying to get you your one more.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put it back to you, Lyle. That's a run of 29. I was shooting for 30. Roger?
Roger that. Well, don't go away. I'm sure you can help me out in a matter of minutes, really.
Roger, roger.
Okay, well, that puts us up to 319.
Well, it's always nice to be the one to put you over the 300 mark, Lyle.
Yeah, well, you started out with 290. Okay, this is Kilo Charlie 7, Hotel Fox Lima, looking for early check-ins, noontime net.
Hotel, Oscar Hotel.
Okay, Hotel Oscar Hotel, what's the prefix?
Good morning. This is the Kilo Bravo 6, Hotel Oscar Hotel in the Bay Area.
Okay, Kilo Bravo 6, Hotel Oscar Hotel. We have you, Roger. Okay, give me another.
Roger, roger, roger. Thank you.
Okay, I got the roger, roger, roger. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, give me another. Okay, KF7NUN, I have you. Okay, yeah, you got that thing sounding like it has been sounding. That's why I got it right off the bat. Thank you. Okay, taking anybody.
Hey, where's Ralph?
Stand by, crummy sounding radio. The Alpha, I'm not sure what the next letter was. The Alpha. Alpha Delta 7 Victor, Roger. Now, crummy sounding radio. I don't know where Ralph's at. I haven't heard him yet.
I haven't heard him for months. N7 Delta India Alpha.
N7 Delta India Alpha. I have you. Thank you. And KG7 CSR, go ahead and say something, whatever. Okay, maybe not. Give me another. Anybody, anywhere, noontime net.
Alpha India 6, Lima Zulu.
Alpha India 6, Lima Zulu, I have you.
Good morning, Lyle. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for being there as always. Give me another.
November Lima 7, Golf
Whiskey 4, Charlie Romeo, Quebec.
November Lima 7 Golf. Is that a Roger?
Golf Whiskey. Golf Whiskey.
Golf Whiskey. Okay, we got that. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
And who was the other one that just checked in?
Who was the 4th station? The Whiskey 4 that just tried to check in, who was that?
The Whiskey 4, I had somebody really light before you, and I had to get him and get him confirmed, and that's why I didn't pick you up. So you're allowed here. Come on in. Whiskey 4, Charlie Romeo, Quebec. Okay, thank you, Steve. Thanks for standing by.
Sure thing, 7-3. Over.
7-3s. Okay, looking for early check-ins in time net. Thanks, Carl.
November 7, Romeo, India Alpha.
November 7, Romeo, India Alpha. I have you.
Okay, and we're QRP.
And QRP at that. You're sounding great for QRP.
Alrighty, sir. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You have a good weekend, too. Okay, anybody?
Victor Echo 7, Hot Water Radio.
Victor Echo 7, Hot Water Radio. I have you.
Thank you very much, Lyle.
You have a great weekend. Who was the other?
KC7, KIU.
KC7, KIU. That was you that I heard.
Roger. Have a great day. 73s.
7-3s. Give me another. Anybody, anywhere, noontime net. You don't want to wait till the formal session, do you? And then they go through the alphabet. Come on in. Anybody, anywhere, any call, noontime net.
Victor Echo 7, Tango November.
Victor Echo 7, Tango November. I have you, Roger.
Roger, Lyle. Thank you.
Thank you for being there. Okay, give me another.
Victor Alpha 7, Victor Romeo Victor.
Victor Alpha 7, Victor Romeo Victor. I have you.
Thank you very much, Lyle. Sounding good. 7320. Have a good weekend.
And you're sounding good, too. Who else was in there at the same time? There was somebody else in there. Who was that? Okay, anybody, anywhere, any call, noontime net. Victor Echo 7, Papa Juliet. I think you're the one I was looking for. Okay, you have a good afternoon as well and a good weekend. Give me another.
Victor Echo 7, Delta Oscar Golf.
Victor Echo 7, Delta Oscar Golf. I have you.
Roger that, 73.
Okay, and who else was with him?
Victor Echo 7, Romeo Papa X-ray.
Victor Echo 7, Romeo Papa X-ray. I have you.
Thank you very much, Lyle. You have a good day. 73.
And you have a good weekend. Give me another. Okay, the Kilo Juliet 7 X-ray. Do it again.
Kilo Juliet 7, Whiskey Delta.
Whiskey Delta. Okay, Kilo Juliet 7, Whiskey Delta. I have you. Thank you.
Have a good one.
7-3s. Boy, Carl, I almost called on you for him.
Well, you heard him better than I did. There was a relay in there, though.
Pick him up, would you?
Yeah, who was the relay?
86 Delta is in the remote station, and they're struggling to get in. Quebec, remote.
Okay, Kilo Mike 6, Mike Quebec. You're checked in. Is that a Roger? anybody, anywhere, noontime net.
Victor Alpha 7, Golf Victor +1.
Victor Alpha 7, Golf Victor, and Donna.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, Victor Echo 7, Kilo Lima, India.
And Victor Echo 7, Kilo Lima, Juliet. Did I get that wrong, or did I screw it up again?
KLI.
KLI. Okay, well, I was only off by one letter instead of mixing them all up.
Close enough. Donna doesn't mind.
Oh, okay. Hello, Donna.
Hey. She hollered, but she's in the other room.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good enough. I'll take that as a relay. Okay, looking for anybody, anywhere, noontime net.
Victor Echo 6, Fox Lima Hotel.
Victor Echo 6, Fox Lima Hotel, I have you.
Good morning, Lyle, and all aboard net.
Kilo Alpha 7, Delta Whiskey Yankee.
7-3s, and who's the Kilo Alpha?
Kilo Alpha 7, Delta Whiskey Yankee.
Kilo Alpha 7, Delta Whiskey Yankee, I have you.
Roger, roger.
Okay, there was a real light one, super light out there. Try it again.
Well, he wasn't light to me, Lyle. Whiskey Fox 6, Zulu. We'll get you on the paper, Roger.
Roger, roger. I'm a QRP also at 4 watts.
Well, your 4 watts is booming into Central Oregon. We got you on the paper, Roger.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day, brother.
You have a good day also. Back to you, Lyle.
Thank you, Carl. And, boy, you came up a whole bunch from when I first heard you. And then others kept coming in there. But what can you do? Okay, this is KC7HFL taking anybody. Kilo Golf 7, Charlie Kilo, I have you. Thank you for being there. Another.
Victor Echo 7, Juliet, Bravo, Quebec.
Victor Echo 7, Juliet, Bravo, Quebec. Roger.
Roger, roger. Have a good day, Lyle.
You have a good weekend. Who was the other?
Whiskey Delta 6, Foxtrot Golf, Bravo.
Whiskey Delta 6, Whiskey let's see, do the suffix for me again.
Foxtrot Golf, Bravo.
Foxtrot Golf, Bravo. Yeah, I would have messed it up.
That's all right, Lyle. Take care. Thanks a lot.
You have a good weekend. Okay, give me another. Oh, that's AI6U. Hello, Chris.
Yeah, Lyle, you got AI6JL. Did you get him earlier?
Who else have I got?